Series by 3-0. England are back almost in full force after the 10-day COVID hiatus that they had to have because of the situation, meaning that they couldn't play the one-day international series. How well they did and how many questions Eoin Morgan now has due to the performances of some of those England players, who we will see some of this evening. More on that in a few moments' time. The weather is glorious here, 25 degrees. The sun has popped behind a cloud, but the cloud is high and there is lots of blue sky here. The floodlights on, not really needed. The light is so good, and it will probably go down to about 20 degrees at about 10 o'clock this evening. It could not be more perfect for T20 international cricket. The crowd starting to make their way in. We're going to be close-ish to a full house, and the pitch that we can see in the third floor of the Radcliffe Road end that we look down upon looks straw-coloured. Always a good T20 pitch here at Trent Bridge. So expect plenty of runs. The toss happened 15 minutes ago. The two captains caught up with Zainab Abbas.
Eoin, you won the toss. What have you decided?
We're going to have a bowl first.
It must be heartening for you to see the ODI result from the sidelines, the way the players performed overall, considering all the late call-ups.
Sorry, you're going to have to say that again.
It must be heartening for you to see the ODI result, considering all the late call-ups, how the players performed overall.
Yeah, it's been amazing. The last week or so has been a bit of a whirlwind for a lot of our players. I think for them to get the call-up and take on the responsibility and play in the fashion that they did, both in the manner, the I suppose, genuine enjoyment, and the way that they performed, they reaped the rewards of what they put in. So it's fantastic to see the strength and depth of English cricket. I think for everybody who missed out and was in isolation, it was a huge compliment for them to watch a side like that go out and play in the way that we've played for the last 5 or 6 years. I think that was the most heartwarming thing.
Now, you spoke about rotating players this series. With some of the other players performing, it must give you more options as a captain to work with.
Yeah, it does, and I think at a time when we have the World Cup around the corner, it's time to look at those options. So throughout the series and across the 3 games, we will see guys getting opportunities to stake their claim for that World Cup.
Any specific areas that you're looking to work on as a side in this format?
Yeah, I think we're always looking to be as consistent as possible in T20 cricket. It probably is the hardest format to be as consistent as you can. One area of focus probably with the ball is at the end, and with the bat in a similar vein as well.
Right. What team are you playing today?
So there are actually a number of changes for our side. Probably the easiest way to describe it is Adil Rashid is going to be rested. Chris Jordan is going to be rested. Matt Parkinson comes in for him, and we'll see Livingston Ali batting at 4 and 5, and the rest of our bowlers playing as well. Oh, Jake Ball is missing out as well.
All right, have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Right, Babar, different format altogether for your side. What have you said to your team today?
Yes, we sat together and discussed our mistakes, and we're trying to level best to not repeat that mistake, and we are looking forward to the match.
Now, a lot of these players have, of course, played PSL. They're coming at the back of a good PSL season. Do you think that's going to help them get some form going in this particular format?
Definitely. Like Maqsood in good form, Azam Khan, Mohammad Wasim, they are back in T20s, and we are trying to good cricket over there, and we are looking forward to the match.
I heard the name of Azam Khan, so I reckon he'll be playing today. I mean, what's your 11 for today?
Myself, Rizwan, Maqsood, Rizwan, Hafeez, Fakhar Zaman, Ahmad Wasim, Azam Khan, debutant, Shaheen, Hasan, and Rauf and Shadab Khan.
Right. Thank you so much, Babar. Go well in this one.
Thank you.
Well, that is the news from the centre that England have won the toss and they have decided to bowl first.
I've got to hand it to Babar Azam, I really do. After being asked exactly what his 11 is, to remember all of that in once is a creditable effort from Babar Azam. So they are the two sides that are, well, I'll give you the 2 sides that are playing together, because Babar was, well, he was stuttering a little bit because it was a tough question to ask, I think, at the toss. England, well, there is numerous interesting aspects to their side. They go with Jason Roy, Dawid, Malan, Jonny Bairstow, Liam Livingstone, Moeen Ali, Eoin Morgan. Lewis Gregory gets a go today, as does Tom Curran, David Willey, Saqib Mahmood and Matt Parkinson. So basically, that's no Wood, no Jordan, no Rashid, no Buttler. The other players to miss out, Tom Banton and Jake Ball. As for Pakistan, Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan, Sohaib Maqsood, Mohammad Hafeez, Fakhar Zaman, Azam Khan on debut, Shadab Khan, Imad Wasim, Shaheen Afridi, Rauf and Mohammad Hasnain, the young fast bowler. Well, I'm very pleased to say, fresh off his 1,000th first-class wicket in the intervening time that we had him on Test Match Special. England's leading Test wicket taker and leading cap getter. That's the wrong way of describing that. Well, most England caps in Test match cricket. Now I've got to put my teeth in. Very good evening to you, James Anderson.
Good evening, Charles.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Nice to be back.
Yeah, great to have you on board. I mean, from a Lancashire perspective, you've got to be delighted. Saqib and Matt Parkinson both getting a go today. Eoin Morgan did say he was going to rotate the side a little bit, but also you fancy that these have been earned as well with their performances in the one-day series.
Yeah, I'd have to say so. 3 Lancastrians actually tonight, Charles. Liam Livingstone at 4.
Yeah.
So a great showing for the Red Rose tonight. But yeah, Saqib Mahmood in particular was the standout of that one-day series. I thought he was fantastic with the new ball. Moved it both ways. Asked questions of the Pakistan batters' defence. And then I thought he came back well at the end as well in all the games that he played. And Matt Parkinson too. You know, Pakistan are good players of spin, but he put pressure on them. Certainly the first 2 ODIs, I thought he bowled really well and showed confidence. And he showed that he can absolutely rag it as well.
Yeah,
which,
very much.
Is a great skill to have, especially in this form of the game.
One of the criticisms thrown at Matt Parkinson a little bit is the pace of his deliveries, that some say that he bowls it a little bit too slow. That seems unfair to me if you look at his record, but in international cricket, is it a slightly different step?
Yeah, well, people have been saying that to me for years, to be honest. But yeah, for him,
Come now.
I think he's had success bowling the way he does. He does put a lot of revs on the ball. He does spin it big. He's played at a ground that aids that in Old Trafford. You do get a huge amount of spin there at times, and he's had success bowling the way he does. So I think it's a case of, along the way, he probably will have to try and develop his game a bit, but everyone has to do that. But at the minute, he's had success bowling the way he does. So I think let's just see how he goes. He's had a good start to his international career, I feel. And at some point, maybe he'll have to look at the speed that he bowls, but right now, I think he's bowling fantastically. Lewis
Gregory, I think, has earned it as well. His batting performance at Edgbaston, the 77, he made the 40, the all-important 40 that he made at Lords, and he's also been very useful with the ball. I've been bleating about Lewis Gregory for a while. He's a guy that can make things happen. He might look relatively innocuous, but he has very good slow ball skills. They asked him to bowl with the new ball, or Ben Stokes did, alongside Saqib, and he stepped up. He's sort of a jack of all trades, if you like, a very useful cricketer to have.
Yeah, definitely. I thought, again, he did a great job at the other end to Saqib with the new ball. As you say, it might look innocuous at times, but he does get some movement. He will move the new white ball, and he can take wickets. He's a wicket taker. He's shown that for Somerset for many years. And as you say, that middle order batting as well. Again, he has the ability, and I think the experience that he's got now as well. He's captained Somerset for a decent period of time. He's got experience under his belt to be able to play those innings, and to be able to see. He didn't quite see England home in that 3rd ODI, but he did the bulk of the work, and I thought it was credit to him.
All of the people just starting to make their way in. It's a beautiful evening, so close and so warm, and lots of skin-on show, shorts and T-shirts. It is for supporters here, the big section of Pakistan supporters, all decked out in green with flags draped across their shoulders. Over to our right-hand side, we've got the pavilion staring back at us, and the Redcliffe Road end where we are situated, and the Larwood and Vos over in the opposite direction to where we are. Just a load of greenery behind of there on the Fox Road, and the Fox Road stand itself will be jumping, I'm sure, a little bit later on when they start spinning the hits. The DJ, they'll be in fine voice. The Pakistan side in their all-green kit, darker green bottoms and lighter green tops, have made their way from the pavilion. England doing the same in their all blue kit with red sleeves. A word on Pakistan. This is a different format. They are a better side in T20 international cricket, ranked 4 in the world. England ranked number 1. The 2 games at Old Trafford last year, one was rained off, so we'll ignore that one, but it was 1-1, high-scoring affairs. They are a better side in this form of the game, with arguably the best player in the world in their ranks, the captain.
Yeah, definitely. He's the danger man for England, Babar Azam. Incredible player. And yeah, just that experience that he's got, that he brings, the quality that he brings, he can be a really tough customer in this form of the game.
Well, they're just going to be having a moment of unity. England line up opposite us to our left-hand side, the 2 umpires in the middle, and Pakistan to the right. Just a word on Babar Azam, leading T20 run scorer in the world since 2019, almost 4,000 runs at an average of 50. The next closest, I think, is Alex Hales, who scored about 3,200 and has taken 17 more games to do it. Just shows you how good a player Babar Azam is. The debutant for Pakistan is Azam Khan. He is the son of Moeen Khan, former Pakistan wicketkeeper batsman as well. So a lovely moment for him. He'll slot in at 6, and Babar Azam and Rizwan will open. That was a great partnership at Edgbaston between the pair of them. They really started to go through the gears. There's obviously a lot shorter time in T20 cricket, but the pitch looks good. It's a really good T20 surface here at Trent Bridge. Shortish boundaries as well. You've seen Nottinghamshire play here, and it's a batsman's paradise. Yeah,
it really is. White ball cricket here, 50 overs, 20 overs. It's just an absolute road, and if you're a batsman, you want to absolutely cash in. You say that with a little bit of resignation in the voice. I say that with experience of playing white ball cricket, to be honest. Bowling at the likes of Alex Hales on these sorts of wickets is difficult. And as you say, the boundaries can, sort of an awkward shape, really. It's not a perfect oval. It sort of cuts in at certain corners, and can be really tricky to defend. Well, the Bridgeford Road stand, that's the one that really cut a lot of the outfield out, and that's where the pitch is situated, almost dead centre here, maybe a little towards the Fox Road stand, but it is a short blow for these guys, probably 60 metres to the Fox Road stand. A little bit longer, straighter, but squarer the wicket towards the Fox Road. It isn't a big hit at all, so should be plenty of runs on offer today for batsmen of both sides. I'm also looking forward to the pace trio from Pakistan as well. Haris Rauf, who we've already seen, Shaheen Shah, Afridi, and the young Mohammad Hasnain. He's got some pace too, plus their spin complements. Shadab Khan, Imad, Wasim, and Mohammad Hafeez can send a few down should he so desire. But it's going to be England with ball in hand first off. Great to have your company this Friday evening on Test Match Special on 5 Live Sports Extra. James Anderson, Charles Dagnall will be joined also by Atif Nawaz and Ebony Rainford Brent as a group of 5 young roadies, let's call them roadies, move the flame machines filled full of accelerant and moving them off towards the side of the pitch as flames exploded as the teams made their way out into the outfield. Beautifully cut outfield as well. There's some thick stripes and just in between a couple of thin ones as well. The 2 greens separated quite nicely from the groundsman here. David Willey it is, with ball in hand, shirt untucked as ever. The red back and the blue and red front of the England shirt, dark blue trousers. He's going to bowl his left arm over on this good-looking pitch. 1 slip in place, backward point, cover point, mid-off, mid-on, a short catching mid-wicket. That is Moeen Ali. Fine leg is up inside the circle, and the 2 deep fielders are a deep square and a 3rd man. So not quite ready as yet. Flags on the top of the larwood and Vos of Pakistan and England just hanging limp
by the flagpoles. And I think whatever that noise was has signalled the start of this game. So David Willey it is, 15 on his back. And Mohammad Rizwan will face up to him. He kicks his heels as he runs away, and Rizwan just dabs this to backward point. They think about a quick single. Babar Azam has to scurry back to his ground at the non-striker's end, and there is no run. That's always one thing that you can be assured of. A little bit of tetchy run calling from Pakistan.
Yeah, not the first ball you want if you're next in to bat, or a Pakistan team member where you just wanting a nice calm start to the game. A bit of indecision in the running there.
Willey, lovely rhythmical run up, hurls the ball down. He's beaten outside the off stump with one that just held it line. He's looking for that swing back into the right-hander, and it goes through at a nice height to Jonny Bairstow. And Pakistan yet to get off the mark. Pakistan in pretty decent touch. Their last series, 3 series, one against Zimbabwe, they won 2-1. They beat South Africa 2-1 and 3-1. As for England, Sri Lanka series, which really was very one-sided. They won 3-0 as Willey bowls and gets a little bit of swing, and a leading edge goes down towards third man. No real foot movement from Mohammad Rizwan. However, it is the first Pakistan run of the evening. They're 1 without loss. Just to finish off, England losing 3-2 in that series in Ahmedabad against England. But still ranked #1 in the world. The rankings still has Dawid Malan at #1, Babar Azam at #2. Just fancy that Babar is such a good player. For me, he's #1, just with the form that he's shown. Wide slip in place, hands on knees as bowls, and this is caught as dropped. Malan it is. Now, whether that carried or not, I'm not quite sure, but it was fuller from David Willey. Babar just felt for it. I'm not quite sure whether it carried or not, but if so, that is a chance you don't want to let slip through the fingers. Oh, I think it is. It's a drop chance. What say you, James Anderson?
Yeah, it's just carried for me.
Oh,
he's got his hands underneath it, but it's hit the sort of almost his wrists quite hard. Didn't quite stick in the hand and popped out as he fell to the ground.
So Babar Azam dropped first ball. Willey again bowls a full delivery. It's a Yorker. He's appealing for LBW, but the ball's skewed off between wicketkeeper and first slip and has run away to the boundary for 4. I'm not quite sure what that has been signalled. Now, David Milnes won't signal it until England decide whether to use a DRS review on it or not, and they're deciding against it. So once the timer runs out, David Milnes can now signal for, indicating that he thought it was off the bat, and Pakistan 5 without loss.
Yeah, it's good bowling again. It's another in-swinger. Interesting that he's getting a decent amount of swing, David Willey, but they're both Pakistan openers finding the outside edge. It's almost trying to be over cover that swing. They're being very protective of the stumps, but getting the outside edge.
5 balls gone, 5 without loss as Willey bowls. That's flicked through the onside, and that man at short mid-wicket on the catch as Moeen Ali just tumbles to his left-hand side to make sure no run is scored. And a very eventful first over from David Willey. Pakistan 5 without loss. Would you have been tempted then to throw in a second slip?
Yeah,
or just tighten up first and keeper, perhaps?
Yeah, I think it's a tricky one, because with his shape, you'd expect it to go to mid-wicket more. With his swinging it back into the right-handers, that work through mid-wicket is a strong shot, particularly for Babar Azam. So I can see why he's got that mid-wicket catcher and not a second slip. But obviously, in hindsight, when you've had 2 edges through there, ideally you had another slip in.
It really is. I mean, I know there will be regulations, maybe 75% of crowd full capacity, but it feels absolutely rammed in here. Lots of spectators underneath the sight screens, one of the few grounds that allows that, Trent Bridge, and the sun has popped out again, drenching Trent Bridge. Glorious rays. Saqib Mahmood it will be to start from the pavilion end. He too will have a slip, 4 in the offside ring. Fine leg, Matt Parkinson up inside the circle. There's also a mid-on, a few stragglers just waiting to take their seats behind the bowler's arm, and then a very stately man in a long white jacket comes out and reprimands them, opening up the double doors. They'll probably got an earful. And now he just steps back behind and closes the doors behind him. So the movement has now stopped. England have a deep square and a third man as well. It's Tom Curran with that headband on of his. Just shielding that mop of hair that started to get ever longer on his head. Here's Saqib, bowls a good one that just beats Mohammad Rizwan on the inside edge. Again, no foot movement. It brings a grin to the face of Rizwan, but an excellent start from Saqib.
Yeah, Saqib just following on from where he left off in the one dayers. Wobble seam, and it just nipped back through the gate of Rizwan.
You know him obviously pretty well, and the fact that Ben Stokes had to use him as his senior bowler, given the inexperience of the staff that he had at his disposal, as Saqib, with a slightly angled run, straightens it up at the end, back of a length, and Rizwan defends out to Jason Roy at backward point, no run. 5 without loss. Will he have taken that on board? Is that something that will have inspired him a little bit, liking that role?
Yeah, I think definitely going into that series, he would have looked at it and thought, actually, he's got more caps than any of the other bowlers in that situation. So he was the senior bowler. He led the attack brilliantly. All the games he played, and I think that responsibility would have done him the world of good.
He charges towards us now, past the umpire and bowls, and this is driven uppishly by Rizwan, but he manages to squeeze it through despite the dive of Morgan to his left-hand side. I don't think it was cleanly hit, but it was hit well enough. 86 miles an hour from Saqib Mahmood, but it's the first boundary for Pakistan, and they're 9 without loss.
Yeah, it's a similar shot to the one he played first ball that nipped back and went through the gate, but this time he gets a bit more width from Saqib Mahmood, and that allows Rizwan just to sort of get that angle through extra cover, and got enough of it. Didn't time it really well, but got enough of it.
Zinc cream adorns the lips of Mohammad Rizwan underneath the helmet as he waits once more for Saqib Mahmood. Hurls the ball down another leading edge, another time where his feet were stuck in concrete, but he goes skimming past Dawid Malan at slip and down towards Tom Curran at third man. Another single taken, 10 without loss. What's your form then? How are you feeling at the moment? You in good nick?
Yeah, good. Had a nice week at Headingley just now where we didn't bowl a ball. But before that, the week before that was pretty good. So now it's just a case of trying to get as much bowling as I can in the next couple of weeks before that India Test series.
Yeah, and everyone's chomping at the bit to get that one started. Should be fantastic. 5 Test match series in a short space of time. As Mahmood coming towards us. Bowls a little bit of away movement. It's cut away by Babar Azam, only as far as Moeen. That long bushy beard of his at cover point, and there is no run. Yeah, just that 1000th wicket then. We've not spoken about it, but I'm sure you've spoken about it on many occasions since you took it, but it must have been a fabulous moment.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, once I realised that it was my 1000th wicket. Yeah.
Do you not know?
I didn't at the time. No.
Surely.
No, I was in the region.
Short delivery from Saqib gets turned away by Babar Azam just for a single out to deep square, and it will complete the second over. A tidy one, 6 runs coming from it. Pakistan 11 without loss after 2 overs. So you knew you were in the
I knew I was sort of close-ish, but I didn't know exactly which one.
You got 600 and odd Test wickets, so you're in the region then.
Yeah.
Plus first class.
Yeah. So yeah. I just didn't know I was 5 away before the game. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah.
But it all happened so quickly.
Yeah. It was a good morning. The most pleasing thing for me was I'd done lots of work in between the New Zealand series and that game, and to go into that game and right from ball 1 actually feel like that work had paid off was nice.
Third over to start. It's David Willey down the leg side, signalled wide by umpire Milnes, sporting a little bit of grey stubble, and Pakistan 12 without loss. Well, if you didn't know before, congratulations from all of us, and I'm sure all of our listeners as well. It's a hell of a milestone. I think I said on social media I was there when Devon Malcolm took his 1000th first-class wicket, and a lovely moment when Philip de Freitas came up and said, "Welcome to the club." As Willey past the umpire, gets a little bit of in-swing. They're going to take a quick single to Tom Curran mid-on, and Pakistan to 13 without loss. Not the explosive start that they would have hoped for as yet. Has been a bit of sideways movement in the air and a touch off the seam for Saqib.
Yeah, they bowled pretty well, I think. They've not allowed them to be expansive in this opening 13 balls. David Willey getting a decent amount of swing back into the right-handers, so they've just been a little bit watchful to start.
Willey again gets one to come back in. It just hits high on the pad. They're shy at the stumps by Willey at the non-striker's end as a quick single is taken. A safe one, though, in the end. But he is definitely getting that movement in the air. Leg by signal 14 without loss. And maybe just a little badge of honour on the thigh of Mohammad Rizwan. Would have been home probably. Oh, just looking... Oh, no, he would have been short by an inch or so. Had that throw from David Willey hit the non-striker's end stumps. And he's safely there now. It's Babar Azam crouched over his bat, waiting for the explosion from one or two of these sides. A full delivery from Babar, driven very handsomely through the offside for 4. There is a gap there between cover point and mid-off, and he just released his hands ever so slightly to manoeuvre the ball through the gap. And it's Babar Azam's first boundary. He moves to 10 and Pakistan to 18 without loss.
Yeah, that one didn't swing. David Willey's pushed it really full to try and get that swing back in that troubled Babar Azam first over. This one doesn't swing, and that's the sign of a class player. He's not tried to overhit it. He's just used the timing, as you said, opened the face slightly, got it through that gap at extra cover,
which has now been plugged. Eoin Morgan is there. Slip has come out, but still the catching mid-wicket remains. Willey gets one to swing, and it's walloped away by Babar Azam. That's a gorgeous shot. He saw the ball just coming back into his pads, but the timing was pure and the loft just enough to get over Moeen at mid-wicket. And away to the boundary it sails, and Babar is starting to find his range. Remember, was dropped first ball by Dawid Malan at slip off David Willey. He's now 14 of Pakistan's 22 without loss.
Yeah, again, not overhitting it, just using his timing. It's such a nice player to watch when he's in this sort of form.
It was effortless, really was. Willey once more bowls one that's straightened and flicked away, and that's going to be 4 more. Goodness me. And again, it's just like you said, Jimmy, he's not tried to overhit it, just stood there, lovely straight body, flicked it away with a lot of bottom hand across the square. It skims to the square leg boundary for 4. And now Babar 18 off 9 without you knowing it. He's striking at 200, Pakistan 26 without loss.
Yeah, just amazing timing, isn't it? It's incredible, really. He's only hit it probably 10 yards to the left of deep square leg.
Yeah.
It's beating him to the boundary. Incredible bit of timing.
Well, it's a wide square here. It almost touches the boundary. Probably only 15 yards or so of outfield beyond the square either side. So once it goes across the square, good luck stopping it. Now, mid-wicket's been put in place, a deep mid-wicket and a deep square. 5 in the offside ring for David Willey. Babar Azam waits, and this does swing back in. A big appeal for LBW's on bended knee. David Willey screaming for it. And it's turned down by umpire Milnes. He did shuffle across a little bit. Morgan in conversation with Bairstow, and Bairstow looks a little bit... Well, they've gone for it. They've gone for the review. And I wonder how much of that pleading from David Willey was because of the boundaries that he's just been struck for, or if he genuinely believes that it's out.
Original decision is not out. I have checked the front foot and it's a fair delivery. Can I have front on spin vision, please?
So you're going to hear they've gone to the third umpire. He has gone a long way across.
Can we go straight to ultra edge, please?
Just wonder.
It's flat line, flat line, flat line. Play it through to the pad, please. No bat involved. Can go to ball tracking when ready, please.
Alex Wharf is the TV umpire. Now it's pitching in line.
Pitching in line. Hitting in line.
Sliding, I think. Yeah.
And wicket's missing. Can go back on field, please, when ready.
did a little bit too much, really. And umpire David Milnes, his decision is upheld. Crosses his arms in front of his body, dressed all in black. David Milnes, and a leg by was signalled at the end of the third over. Pakistan 27 without loss, and in the blink of an eye, they've started. Well, they've not just picked up the rate. I mean, they really have put the foot on the gas.
Yeah, without really taking any risks. They've just hit good areas, really. Got a couple of loose balls from David Willey, one a bit straight, one a bit full and outside off, and they've just put them away.
Lost a review have England. Yeah, he did shuffle over, but it's something that just didn't quite sit right with that swing of David Willey. Tom Curran replacing Saqib Mahmood from the pavilion end. Black headband, wavy hair, held back by it as he comes towards us and bowls a beauty first up. On a good length, just leaving Babar Azam, a little bit of seam movement, and through it goes to Jonny Bairstow. What a start first.
Yeah, a bit of swing for Tom Curran.
Ooh.
I feel like these kookaburras this year have been swinging a lot more than they have in previous years. Saw it in the one-day internationals and the T20s against Sri Lanka. But here, you wouldn't expect to see it swinging for as long as it has.
Curran again, wide of the crease this time, and he bowls back of a length to Babar Azam, who just neatly tickles him into the onside for a single. 28 without loss. Babar is 19 from 12. Rizwan 6 from 8. Feel a little bit of pressure, but since his partners started playing so beautifully, if you're Dawid Malan, you're hoping to see the back of Babar Azam fairly swiftly. 4 in the offside ring. Still in the power play overs, remember. 3.2 overs gone here on 5 Live Sports Extra. Don't forget, you can watch in-play highlights via the cricket section of the BBC Sport website and the BBC Sport app as well throughout the course of this evening, as big slog sweep is attempted by Rizwan. He's down in one knee, trying to loft the ball over short fine leg where Matt Parkinson is fielding. He doesn't connect. The ball cannons into his body, and now a conversation between Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan. But dot ball.
I just wonder if it's hit him in the helmet. Yeah, it has. He got top edge straight into the helmet, which will mean the physio has to come out and do the checks.
It's gone straight into the grill. It's not been trapped anywhere. It's not been, the jawbone hasn't been hit or anything like that.
It looks absolutely fine. It's just a precaution, isn't it? And the protocol at the minute is if you get hit in the helmet, you've got to get the physio to come out.
Well, the physio for Pakistan is a gentleman by the name of Cliffy Deacon. Now, Cliffy is an enormous South African man, and you look at him, we can see him on our screen, we can see him out of the window as well. He towers over Mohammad Rizwan, both in length, height and width as well. And he used to play a little bit of twos cricket for Warwickshire, played a little bit with Cliffy Deacon, a genuinely lovely man. He's got one of these little top knots now at the time. He'll think it's cool.
Yeah.
But it's
not.
It's really not. However, you can tell him, not me. Big old boy is Cliffy, but he's been Pakistan physio for quite some time, but a lovely man. He used to play a lot of his cricket around the Midlands, in the Birmingham League as well. Sporting a little grey on the beard as he jogs off. And changes the slope of Trent Bridge as he does. He is a big boy. So, Rizwan is absolutely fine. Been checked over and is ready to face up to Curran again, who comes towards us from the pavilion end. And another slog sweep attempted this time, and he's done it well. Down on one knee, over the left shoulder. Whether it was meant to be played that fine, who knows. However, it's got the job done for Pakistan. 4 more onto their total, 32 without loss.
Yeah, brave effort that. The ball before getting a top edge into the helmet, but he's gone for the same shot. It's a very similar length. It was heading for the grill once more, but this time he gets enough bat on it to just get it fine of the short fine leg fielder.
Is he trying to play it that fine, or is he trying to actually whack it over into the Fox Road stand, and that's just the added benefit? If he swings hard, it will get that top edge.
Yeah, I feel he's going for a 6 over fine leg, but he just sort of got a top edge on that one.
Curran Makes room for himself, does Mohammad Rizwan. He toes it to mid-on and a shot at the stumps at the non-striker's end. It's David Willey, and he looks disgusted with himself that he's not connected. He thought it might have been close, that quick single taken, and Rizwan was on his heels as he played that short delivery. He might have had a chance there, Willey. No, he's probably home. Rizwan. 33 without loss. The single taken brings Babar Azam back on strike. Nothing better than seeing an absolutely packed Trent Bridge for international cricket. A St George's flag draped over the railings of the Fox Road stand to our left, saying Basildon Reds, and the Forest badge in the top left-hand corner, as a slower delivery is played defensively by Babar Azam. Well bowled one as well by Tom Curran, who I think has bowled a really good over there, but has conceded 7. And after 4 overs, Pakistan 34 without loss.
Yeah, decent start for Pakistan, I think. They'll be happy with that because England bowled quite well. There's some swing early. We'll just start. You can see Rizwan's getting a bit itchy. He wants to start hitting boundaries. So we might see some fireworks from him. But I think Babar will just look to keep playing the same tempo that he does. He's sort of aggressive, but in a controlled way. Really controlled. He plays proper cricket shots, but really knows his strengths and picks the ball to hit really well.
Well, we've not seen Lewis Gregory as yet in the power play. Not big surprise. Gentle pace of Gregory. Expect him to come on after the power play overs have been concluded. But Saqib Mahmood is back into the attack, this time from the Radcliffe Road end. His first delivery is on-off stump. A defensive prod goes to backward point. The throw from Jason Roy hits the non-striker's end stumps. Babar Azam was comfortably home and very well backed up in the end by Tom Curran. And Babar moves to 21, Pakistan 35 without loss. And of course, the other 2 bowling options, Matt Parkinson, Moeen Ali. Matt Parkinson never really bowls in the power play, or rarely does. Moeen now and again, seen him bowl plenty in the power play for England, but he's not been turned to yet. Sticking with pace.
We've also got Liam Livingstone as an option.
Absolutely, my mistake.
He has done a little bit in the power play in the past, but
I
feel like that's but potentially too much of a risk at this stage.
Saqib, away from us, bowls, and an inside edge goes onto the pad of Mohammad Rizwan. Again, it trickles out into the offside, and a single is picked up. 36 without loss. Rizwan on to 12 not out. No breakthroughs for England yet. Nothing for the crowd to cheer, or the England section of the crowd. Pakistan supporters have had plenty, and they've seen some very attractive stroke play from Babar Azam. Rizwan struggled a little bit. He's 12 from 12. Babar 21 not out from 14. He waits for Saqib, who hurls the ball down. He gets slapped to mid-on. Awkward, bobbling, bouncing ball at Lewis Gregory. Struggles to pick it up cleanly. It allows Pakistan to go through for a single. 37 without loss.
Good single in the end, but going against the famous saying, never run on a misfield. That's exactly what he did there. He ran on a misfield. It wasn't really a bad misfield either. It was just he fumbled it a couple of yards in front of him, but manages to get through for the single. I think they've done that really well. When England bowled quite tight in the first couple of overs, they still managed to rotate the strike and get the odd single, which you need to do. You need to keep just ticking the scoreboard over until you get those boundary options.
Saqib, no close catches in now. Third man fine leg up inside the circle. 2 deep fielders for Mohammad Rizwan, or a deep backward square and deep mid-wicket. Mahmood, blue sleeve on his right arm, bowls a beautiful Yorker, which is jammed down on by Mohammad Rizwan. Somehow he got some willow on that. 89 miles an hour from Saqib, and they scoop through for a hastily taken single. 38 without loss. I should mention, by the way, that the groups for the World T20 were announced today. England in Group 1 of the Super 12. There is a round before that, a sort of qualifying group, and that's Group A, Sri Lanka, Ireland, Netherlands and Namibia. Group B, Bangladesh, Scotland, Papua New Guinea and Oman. And the 2 top teams from those go through to the Super 12. as Saqib runs away from us, and an inside edge goes flying down towards the fine leg boundary. The despairing dive from Matt Parkinson can't cut it off. It's an ugly looking shot from Rizwan, but it relieves some of the pressure on him a little bit, and he moves. Sorry, it's Babar, isn't it? It is Babar Azam, my apologies. Getting confused by what was on the TV screen in front of me. Babar was 26 and Pakistan to 42 without loss.
Yeah, a bit of luck there for Babar. Just thick inside edge. Good bowling from Saqib and Mahmood.
Babar on strike. I've got the scoreboard correct in front of us now as Saqib bowls, and this is worked through the leg side. Just a single it should be to Babar Azam, who's to 27, 43 without loss. And just to go through those Super 12 groups: England, Australia, South Africa, West Indies, and the winner of Group A and the runner-up of Group B. And in Group 2, India, Pakistan, New Zealand, Afghanistan, the runner-up of Group A and the winner of Group B. All of that to come between the 17th of October and the 14th of November. Time for me to take my leave. Ebony Rainford Brent is in situ, and after me it'll be Atif Nawaz.
Well, the good news today, from my perspective anyway, is that it is a very good track. Pakistan have turned up to the party with runs. Babar Azam flowing on 27 off just 17. There's a short boundary down to our right-hand side, which is a short sort of fine leg region to pick up, and the ball is coming on nicely onto the pad. So could be a big total here.
Yes, absolutely, Ebbs. Good afternoon, everybody. What a predicament in the game. 43 for no loss after 5 overs. Pakistan continuing their trend of being unpredictable as in comes Tom Curran now. Good length ball outside off stump. It's been cut nicely by Babar, but blocked at point. And there is no run. 43 for no loss. Yeah, it's really bizarre, Ebbs. I had a chat with some of the Pakistani players yesterday, and there was a sense of comfort about the 2020 format. There's something about T20 cricket that it just feels like home to Pakistan. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's just a shorter span, so it feels more intense, so they can pack in all their intensity into a shorter period of time. But they feel more relaxed in it. As in comes Tom Curran. Full ball. Played uppishly just wide of the fielder at gully. And it goes into the deep third boundary for 4 more runs for Pakistan. 47 for no loss.
Problem there was the width offered from Tom Curran. We've seen that he's actually changed up bowling a couple of slow ball bouncers and had to bowl the variations because it is a good wicket. But as soon as you offer someone like Babar just a fraction of width too much, just gets the hands through it. But you're right, I think it's an expression thing, Atif, in terms of you don't have to overthink. You just get out and be free. And they are expressive cricketers. They naturally, I think it's a format that you don't have to over worry about too much.
Tom Curran in now. This time the ball's been played to the onside. Soft hands, they run through for a quick single. And they get there comfortably. 48 for no loss. The running has been brilliant as well today. So you think it's about freedom?
Yeah, I just think it is. It's like, you know what the brief is, isn't it? Entertain, have some fun.
They're free.
Yeah, be
They're
free
to do what they want to do.
Be free. Sing it. Sing it. Yeah, and also I suppose it just takes away from. Sometimes I think as a player you can I know a danger of it. You look at stats, you look at this, you look at numbers, you're over crunching and overthinking. Where actually when you're at your best is when you're in the zone, you're flowing.
Well, right now, Babar looking good. Rizwan on 13 off 13. He's not been quite as fluent. As in comes Tom Curran. He bowls. Babar, big swing, misses the ball. He smiles as he knows that was very close to just taking the outside edge through to Jonny Bairstow. In the end, a dot ball.
You might have to see a chiropractor after that one. He went for the full-on Yahoo wild swing, didn't he? It was actually there. It was one that he could have. He might have had to wait a fraction longer, but it was the shot. If he'd have waited just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a bit of shiatsu. 48 for no loss after 5.4 overs. Tom Curran now. Steaming in. He bowls fuller this time and just guided with soft hands just in front of point by Rizwan, just rotating the strike. He takes a single. 49 for no loss after 5.5 overs. A little bit earlier, Eoin Morgan won the toss, inserted Pakistan on what's a beautiful batting track, as you said. I mean, we've seen so many runs scored here at Trent Bridge over the years in white ball cricket, and a decent crowd in to enjoy it as well, an expectant crowd as well. 15,000 people we're expecting here at Trent Bridge today, about 80% capacity. And it looks absolutely gorgeous. It's packed. There's a wonderful atmosphere. As in comes Tom Curran. Slower ball this time. Just played unconvincingly by Babar that time to mid-off. In the end, there's no run. So a decent over from Tom Curran. Not too many off it. 49 for no loss after 6 overs. As we just look at that slower ball again, that was very, very good. 69 miles an hour. Great pace drop.
I think there's been some good change-up. We saw Saqib Mahmood. I thought his Yorker was outstanding, actually. It was right on that sort of toe crunch line. Tom Curran's had to bowl a few. It's going to be that game, actually, where you just bowl it on a length and it's going to get hammered, but you bowl a good change-up and there could be value and reward. What do you think's a good score on this? I'm feeling like it's got to be 170, 180 kind of region.
I'm with you.
160 feels
below par.
Below par.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the boundary, we talked about the boundaries on one side. Depending on who you ask, they're either one of them is shorter than 60 meters. It's either 57 or 59, depending on who you ask. But a shorter than 60 meter boundary, people like Jason Roy, Jonny Bairstow to come, you want to give them something to work with, your bowlers. Well, we will see some new bowlers as well from Pakistan today. That'll be very exciting. Now, the new bowler coming in for England is a man who's been so impressive so far in this series. He earned himself a call-up into this T20 squad. Lewis Gregory, after a player of the match performance in the second ODI. And he comes now. He bowls back of a length. That's been pulled by Rizwan out to deep backward square leg for a single. Moeen Ali gets the ball back in. And Pakistan's 50 comes up. 50 from 6.1 balls.
That is very good. Very good. I think they would have felt like they could have got nearer to 60 in the power play, but you will take 50 for no loss of a wicket any day of the week on a good surface. Babar is cruising at the moment. You've got the depth to come as well. Fakhar Zaman can come in and give it a whack. Maqsood, who we saw at times show some flair.
And Azam Khan, the debutante. In comes Gregory now. This time there's it strikes the batter just on the solar plexus, a little bit high, an aborted appeal there, but we'll be happy to beat him there. 80 miles per hour. It's not really a change-up. Just Babar struggling to pick that one up.
He said Azam Khan has got a bit about him.
Yeah, very exciting cricketer. He's the son of Moeen Khan, of course, Pakistan's wicket-keeping legend, and had a couple of very impressive seasons in the PSL for the Quetta Gladiators. As in comes Gregory again. He bowls short. It's been pulled behind square this time by Babar. Will it race away to the boundary? Yes, it will. The runs keep coming for Pakistan. The runs keep coming for Babar. The Pakistani Riddler in the crowd is very happy. 54 for no loss.
That was gentle, wasn't it? 79 miles an hour, just kind of sat up in the pitch, going down the leg sides. He just only had to work it, really use it. A little bit of pace that was on offer and just choose the gap. Can't afford to do that on a wicket like this. But sorry, carry on about
Babar Azam. Well, I want to talk about Azam Khan, but it's the other Azam, Babar Azam, who's stealing the headlines right now. Short again, this time pulled in front of square towards mid-wicket, and they'll take a single. Yes, I think he really kind of burst on the scene. His first season, he was a little bit scratchy. He didn't look like he really belonged, really, and his fitness was called into question. His physique was called into question. He spent a lot of time working out. Reportedly lost up to 30 kgs in a year. So 30, well, reportedly.
Wow. Did well.
I mean, I didn't weigh him, so I couldn't tell you. But
that's the word.
He looks better. He looks better, and he's apparently worked on his fitness. We're not sure if he's going to keep today for Pakistan. I suspect he'll be in the outfield, and Rizwan will keep, but he's a very destructive batsman. Gregory in now, full this time, punched down to the mid-wicket region by Rizwan. Take the first one quickly. He's coming back for the second, and they will make it with ease. Good running by this Pakistan pair, 57 for no loss.
I was going to say that's good running because it only went slightly to the right hand there of Livingston. It's because they'd made a decision early and went and turned, it allowed it to turn into a comfortable 2. I think that's something that they could have improved at times in the ODI, but it looks sharp today.
Now then, there's Gregory in bowls. Down the track comes Rizwan. This time he does connect, only as far as extra cover. They run through for a single. So 7 overs gone for Pakistan, 58 for no loss. And well, I don't think anybody saw this coming a little bit. I think, there was remarkably a sense of optimism about Pakistan from the fans. They also knew that this format suits Pakistan. Pakistan, of course, has played more T20 internationals than any other country in the world, but still coming off a 3-0.
The only thing I would say is, let's say we deleted the ODI series and it was just a solid ODI series.
Yeah.
This is how you'd expect them to perform in T20s, right? I think it's only because we were so shocked at how, well, just the standard which they dropped to, and surprisingly against the B team. But I would say this is arguably what I would expect from Pakistan in T20s.
Yes.
They do know how to deliver. They're very accomplished. And actually, I would say the shock was just how they played the B team, was rather that than, I suppose, this being the shock.
Yes. Well, one of the shocks from that B team, in quotation marks, was Matt Parkinson. And he's going to get to bowl now. He's coming into the attack. He's been called up into the England side. I think that surprised a few people. Were you surprised, Ebs?
Yeah, I was. I didn't expect to see his name on the team sheet today. Not because he's not deserving of his place, but knowing that more of the full strength squad are available. This is a real exciting time for him to see, how he goes on a good wicket. Will he still be brave enough to chuck it up on this sort of surface, get that revs that we saw in the ODI?
And he comes now to Rizwan. Full ball, just pushed into the offside. Rizwan happy to take a single, just get Babar back on strike. Rizwan getting a runner ball at the moment, 19 off 19. As Babar has been delivering the damage.
No, I was just going to say, first ball 46 miles an hour, so he's sticking to his flight. He doesn't mind chucking it up there.
Here, Parkinson in full flow. Lots of flight given this time as Babar drives that out to long off for a single.
Give him
60 for no loss.
Give him his own airline.
Yeah, or at least a commercial for an airline.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Matt Parkinson, especially as the airlines start to open up again, people start going on holiday again. Matt Parkinson, the face of an airline, for sure. Shorter this time, and Rizwan just punches that ball off the back foot down to long on for a single. If you're Owen Morgan, you'll take this runner ball off Parkinson.
100%. The only time that we saw him he got attacked at one point by Hassan Ali, didn't he? For
at Lord's.
3 or 4 balls he went from. But other than that, he's been pretty impressive.
And he comes again. Again, lots of flight given, just driven by Babar out to, just sort of really slowly rolled to extra cover for a single. I wonder what the game plan for Pakistan against Parkinson is as well, because they know that 160 won't be enough here, and they've made a really good start. They must accelerate, as this time a bit more attacking from Rizwan. He slaps that square on the leg side for a single, looking to find the gap. 5 balls, 5 runs. Very economical so far from Parkinson. Excellent field set as well, has to be said by Owen Morgan. In comes Parkinson again. Bit shorter this time. Cut by Rizwan down to Moeen Ali at deep backward point. They take a single. So a superb over, I'm going to say, from Parkinson. Just the 6 off it. 64 for no loss after 8 overs.
So you allowed your 5 out as well, aren't you? Which, compared to ODIs where there's times where you only allowed 4, etc. I think that 5 gives you that protection to have your classic 2, mid on, mid off, deep cover as a leg spinner taking it away, and then you've got a couple protection on the leg side. So it does allow that ability to chuck 1 or 2 up and feel that you've got a bit of protection. So, bowling to his field and bowling nicely there.
Yes, and there's going to be another change now with the field spread out a little bit. Liam Livingston's going to come into the attack. With Pakistan at 64 for no loss after 8 overs. Babar on 40 not out of 27 deliveries. Rizwan on 21. Livingston's got a terrific average and economy in international T20 cricket. Both very, very impressive. And it's only his 6th game today.
Who's the team hair dyer?
I don't know, but he's been busy. In comes Livingston now. Short outside the off stump, driven by Babar, only as far as extra cover, and there is no run. Pace off. Seems to be paying off for England right now, at least in terms of economy. In comes Livingston again, this time shorter and pulled by Babar into the mid-wicket region. It's in the gap. A fielder in the deep will have to do some work. They will come back for 2 runs. So Owen Morgan seems to have decided that on this wicket,
spin is the way to go.
Yes. Pakistan will keep that in mind. They've got spin options of their own, of course. As in comes Livingston. This ball's just been played down the ground by Babar for a single. 67 for no loss after 8.3 overs. Just in a slightly settled period of play here. Pakistan will be looking for the gaps here. Rizwan will want to get a move on. He's got 21 from 21 so far, and there's some firepower to come. In comes Livingston, short outside the off-stump. Rizwan hits that hard, but just straight into his foot. I hope he's got some protection, because that looked like it could really hurt.
Question is whether Rizwan's trying to overhit it or he's a little bit in the surface.
Rizwan moves across the stumps this time, and he's paddled that over the fielder that's inside the circle at fine leg, and that's going to race away for 4. Trying to break some of that pressure created by these spinners, these Pakistani batsmen. 71 for no loss.
That was the one he needed. He's been trying to dance around the ground, and the crease even, and just create some angles. And then Livingston tried to fire it down the leg side, but it ended up finishing nicely.
Livingston now, this time just pulling out of his delivery stride. It's got to be right. He's got a very gentle action. Reminds me sort of Graham Hick back in the day when he bowled his off breaks for Worcester. This time a bit fuller and slapped into mid-wicket boundary. It's going to get there with ease that time. Rizwan is finding his groove. Pakistan 75 for no loss after 9 overs.
You feel that needed that over. It just felt like England, when the spin came on, it was just wrestling back a bit of momentum. And then finally got the one that he was able to get down the leg side, which I think forced him trying to fire one in, where it ended up pretty nice. Look at the crowd. There's plenty of Pakistan fans in today, all in the green and yellow. Plenty of what do you call the goodies? Whether it's flags, it's
the signs, the four
green
signs.
Wigs,
oh yeah, there's a few of the Pakistani super fans. They're called the super fans. There's a Stani army. There's the super fans. There's a few factions of fans, and they turn up at every game with a renewed vigor, regardless of what happened previously. They managed to hit the refresh button and show a lot of enthusiasm. They're being rewarded today as Parkinson in, and Babar comes down the ground and drives that to long on for a single. 76 for no loss now after 9.1. Babar on 44 off 31, closing in on that half century. Played that majestic innings at Edgbaston just a couple of days ago. It's Rizwan on strike now against Parkinson. Will he continue to attack? Yes, he will. He sweeps that down to deep square leg. Picks out the fielder, so just a single.
I did like one of your lines when he got to a milestone about the form is temporary, class is permanent, and you got it out like a flow of poetry.
Oh, that's very kind.
In the moment.
I'm pretty sure I was the first person to ever use that phrase. In comes Parkinson again. Lots of flight given and driven out towards mid-wicket this time. There's a big gap there, and I think Babar has found it. No, there's a great sliding stop. And Liam Livingston gets the ball back in. Excellent work in the deep there, saving 2 runs. 79 for no loss now, Pakistan.
That's the high-quality effort, isn't it, David Willey? It was to his strong side, his left arm outstretched and moving to his left, but equally, that's the sort of efforts you need. That looked like it was a comfortable 4, and he just kept hunting it down.
Yeah, it's a big commitment from David Willey. England know that this is a very crucial game, crucial series against a team that could be a difficult opposition in the World T20 later this year. As in comes Parkinson. Good ball this time, just pushed into the covers for no run. As Charles Dagnall was talking a little bit earlier about those World Cup groups. England and Pakistan in separate groups, of course, but both will be fancy to make that late stage owing to their strength in depth, their experience in the Middle East. They know what they're doing out there. 80 for no loss. Parkinson in and just pulls out of his delivery stride at the last possible second.
Bit of a game with Rizwan.
Yeah.
Rizwan's been dancing around. He went quite early that time, so it gave Parkinson a chance to pull out.
It's like Strictly here at Nottingham. In comes Parkinson. Rizwan dancing again. This time Parkinson just follows him and pushes the ball outside the tram lines, but because Rizwan had moved a long way, it's not signalled a wide. Rizwan smiles. There's a little game of cat and mouse going on right now between Parkinson and Rizwan. In comes Parkinson again. Rizwan again makes some room and a big swing. He misses again. Parkinson winning the battle in the short term.
It's just going a bit too far for me. I like people moving around the crease.
Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of movement. Well, Pakistan will be thrilled with this. 80 for no loss after 10 overs. Ebs, tell me a little bit more about the movement around the crease. It's very interesting. In a minute, you're going to be joined by another great mover, Charles Dagnall.
Yeah, I don't know about Daggers' moves, but in terms of Mohammad Rizwan, he's definitely been dancing around the crease, trying to create some angles, some momentum into the ball, especially against the spinners. I just feel he might have been going a bit too early and a bit too far. And so it's allowed Parkinson there in particular in that over just to see him come in, see him doing the little wiggle and dance around the crease and adjust.
Much like me. You know, you don't lose those moves, haven't you? You don't lose them.
Still got them.
Well, yeah, you like to think so in your mind. Now I've got a new knee. I can do it again. Here's Livingston, who's on from the Redcliffe Road end. His first delivery gets driven down the ground. Do you know what? I had to do a double take there to make sure that it was Liam Livingston, because he's blonded his hair up as well. Everyone's gone blonde. Flat delivery from Livingston, beautifully played by Mohammad Rizwan. It was a quicker delivery outside of the off stump, and he opened the face, allowed the ball to just glance off it, like slip catching practice, although there's no slip there, and down to the third man boundary it goes, 85 without loss.
Yeah, that was quick. And he's picked it up so early, he didn't even have to move. He just watched it all the way and then gave it a little dink behind him.
Rizwan crouched over his bat, waits for Livingston, who skips in, tosses one up, and he wallops this across the line. A lot of bottom hand out towards deep mid-wicket it goes, where David Willey fields. 85 without loss. They play beautifully. It's a good pitch. And I think we'll see. It's not going to change a huge amount. But interestingly, what Jimmy was saying before, as Livingston quickly in, bowls the leg spinner, turned by Babar Azam through mid-wicket. They want the second run. They're going to take on the Jason Roy arm and succeed. And that is a fabulous half-century for Babar Azam. 35 balls it's taken him to get to the milestone. He is so good in this form of the game. And his form, well, he's been in nick for about 3.5 years now. And then Pakistan at 88 without loss.
Showing while he's world class and backing up his 158. And he's just gone from ball run, really. Not poor shot, proper shots, organised shots, but knowing how to find the boundary.
Livingston tosses one up, and this is driven down the ground, slightly crouched as Babar plays that down towards long on. Roy fields. It's 89 without loss. Yeah, just saying about the movement of the white ball. Started swinging just a little bit. We saw a bit for David Willey, touch for Tom Curran and Saqib Mahmood as Livingston bowls, and this has been driven uppishly over extra cover. It should be cut off, and it isn't. Well, Lewis Gregory had a lot of work to do out at long off, probably 30 yards or so to his left-hand side. I thought he'd made the ground. I thought he'd dragged it back with his left hand. As it turns out, he misread it, and it goes into the boundary, and Mohammad Rizwan moves to 39 from 30 balls. He started to find the middle of the bat in Pakistan, and 93 without loss after 11.
Yeah, Lewis Gregory did the hard work there, chasing that around to his left, and it was the slide with the foot. But I think the key here is just how I sense Pakistan have now got the pace of it. They almost were dried up a little bit when the spinners first came on, trying a little bit too hard, and then all of a sudden we got the dink shot, using the feet a little bit easier and just reading the pace of the wicket.
Well, I don't think England will be overly worried. I think this is a good pitch. It's always conducive to high-scoring T20 matches here at Trent Bridge. I do wonder, though, the thoughts of Dawid Malan, who dropped Babar Azam first ball at slip. And obviously, what a big moment that was, and that was right at the start of the game. Parkinson, it is. He's bowled 2 overs, 0 for 11. He's bowled well. Our good friend Predict Viz reckons that Pakistan are going to get 219. Down the pitch comes Babar Azam. First delivery to Parkinson. He works it to the leg side. He wants the second run and will get it, even though David Willey is swiftly in from the deep mid-wicket boundary. Nothing that can be done, even with a bullet throw, to stop Pakistan picking up the second run. And Babar moves to 53. Pakistan 95 without loss in this, the 12th over. Charles Dagnall, Ebony Rain for Brent Altif Nawaz, James Anderson with you on Test Match Special on 5 Live Sports Extra, as Babar Azam clubs the next delivery, slog sweeps it into the Fox Road stand. It's not a long boundary. I don't think he connected cleanly. Doesn't matter. He connected well enough. It also brings up the Pakistan 100, 101 without loss.
The fans are going wild, right? This is absolutely perfect. An international where Pakistan have now turned up. The fans are in. The sun is shining. And I feel that they've got the pace of the wicket now. These boundaries could start flowing in this middle phase of the game. That was a beauty from Babar.
59 from 38 deliveries. That was wrong, actually. It's full capacity crowd in tonight, 17,000. Here's Parkinson, driven a little bit flatter from Parkinson, who turns after his follow through, makes his way back to the non-striker's end stumps, and Babar goes through for a single. He moves to 60 from 39. Pakistan 102 without loss. Friday evening traffic just making its way out of the city, down the main drag, down the Bridgeford Road, as a sock sweep from Mohammad Rizwan, a flat skimmer over square leg for 6. I mentioned that he found the middle of the bat, or had started to find it on more regular occasion, and Rizwan is edging in on a half century himself. He really has hammered this. 108 without loss.
That was absolutely drilled. I mean, seriously, he's got the pace of the wicket there. It was almost like a drop kick in terms of the speed of the hands through the ball. Flat 6, you'll take that any day of the week.
You can see he's ticking, he's fidgety, is Rizwan. Better player for it. Waits for Parkinson. No discernible change in the field. A flat wide one outside of off stump, and this is swept in an orthodox manner out towards deep backward square. Gregory fields coming from the shade into the sunshine, and Pakistan 109 without loss. Rizwan 46 not out. Babar back on strike, 60 not out. Parkinson, fair-haired, stocky build, bowls, and this is worked through mid-wicket. He'll want the second run here, even though it's gone towards long on. It's a long way out there, probably the longest part of the ground, and Babar called it through for 2. Rizwan obliged, and he moves to 62 not out, does Babar. Pakistan 111 without loss at the end of the 12th over, and Rizwan will have the strike at the start of the 13th.
200 is definitely on now, isn't it? At first I thought 180, but seeing how it's going, it's definitely up there and beyond with the platform they've set. Question tag is, who is the team head? So obviously in lockdown we know there was a couple of the guys who were doing the cutting of the hair last year.
Yes.
I don't remember who it was, but I feel like it might have been Zach Crawley or one of the younger players I remember was doing that when you saw the dodgy haircuts.
The shaved heads.
So now the question is, who is the hair dyer that's done 3 of these players?
I don't know. Was there any sort of social media? Jason Roy, Liam Livingstone. Matt Parkinson just naturally has that colour hair.
Has Ben Stokes done it, or I don't know?
I'm not quite sure. Well, they're all copying the footballer Phil Foden, who has these blonde, or had that blonde thing for Euro 2021. I can't see David Willey lining up to have it done.
You should get in on the act, come on.
No, it won't need much. I've done all the dyeing I need to do of my hair over the years, let me tell you. Now it's David Willey who is back into the attack. England need a breakthrough. They have to break this 111-run partnership between Rizwan and Babar. Rizwan is on strike. 4 in the offside ring. No one on the leg side inside the ring apart from on the boundary. And a Yorker is bowled by Willey. It's just dug out by Rizwan. He'll want to come back for the second. Brilliant batting from Mohammad Rizwan. Again, we talk about the touch and almost the pace off. Just nudging it to the 30-yard circle. If the fielders are on the boundary and it reaches the 30-yard circle, there's 2. That's good cricket.
I think this is the best we've seen them run throughout the 4 matches now that they've been here. Significant. Also, thinking about the angle of Willey, if he just slightly misses his length, that sort of backward square leg flick could be on.
Willey bowls down the leg side. It's going to be signalled wide by umpire Milnes, and one more onto the total, 114 without loss. A bus has stopped over to our right. Remember Henry Blofeld, dear old Henry, having a bus named after him?
Did he?
Yes, he did, on his final trip to Trent Bridge.
Nice.
Had a lovely double-decker named after him. He was most pleased. Loves a bus, did Henry is. Short delivery from David Willey, gets pulled by Rizwan into the onside. Yes, again, lack of timing on that particular delivery, but it's actually worked in Pakistan's favour as they've managed to get 2, and it brings up Mohammad Rizwan's half-century. I don't think he's been at his fluent best. However, you look at the stats, 50 from 34 deliveries, and he will take that all day long. 116 without loss after 12.2 overs.
He actually started slow and actually comfortably behind Babar Azam, and then almost was trying to do too much at times, but then he found a bit of a gear, and since then has really accelerated his score. 6
4s and a 6 for Rizwan, who waits for David Willey, who comes into the sunshine. It's a full delivery. It gets turned again through mid-wicket, and once more it will be a couple of runs. And this is where Pakistan have been very good. finding gaps. It's not all about the blazing 6s and 4s that you're able to hit. It's that accumulation of 0s into 1s, 1s into 2s, and they've done that magnificently. 118 without loss.
Yeah, and it's the communication, isn't it? They just need to be switched on to each other, knowing what angles they want to get, and they just seem to have been really on top of the money.
Deep cover in place, the only offside fielder on the boundary, as a low full toss is bowled by David Willey, who flings himself to his right-hand side to try and stop the ball in his follow-through. He fails to do so. Jason Roy will do the tidying up coming in from long on. So another single to Pakistan, 119 without loss.
I think Rizwan missed out there. Low full toss. You could just see from his body language, he's thinking, if I'd have just waited a fraction, he'd been able to throw his hands through it.
There's a beach ball getting tossed around, and a poor steward in a bright orange top. He's chasing after it. He's trying to take it off them, but the crowd are not having it.
It almost went out.
It almost went out of the ground. And the poor steward is now just watching it, tossed from hand to hand. He's given up the chase. He's decided it's a fruitless effort. Here's a short delivery from David Willey, pulled down towards fine leg. In comes Saqib to keep it to a single. Sharp throw and a sharp take as well from Jonny Bairstow. And Pakistan 120 without loss. It was always going to be a struggle for the steward. And you've got a beach ball filled with air going in any direction.
I would be a horrendous steward because I'd be getting involved.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd be knocking it back in like I'm playing tennis. Just having a bit of a laugh. Obviously, that's not the point of your job. But
well, to keep some semblance of order. But I think one person against a couple of thousand down there is always going to be on the back foot, isn't he? Here's Willey bowls a Yorker, attempted one. It's well played by Rizwan, just flicking it down towards fine leg where Saqib Mahmood fields. And it's a single to conclude the 13th over, 121 without loss. Rizwan is 54 not out, Babar Azam 63 not out. Don't forget, you can catch Ebony and James Anderson on the BBC highlights this evening, 11:05 the time. If you miss any of the action, you can catch Ebony and Jimmy on the TV. 11:05 this evening on the BBC are the highlights. Don't forget, we've got live cricket on BBC One, 2:30 p.m. start time on Sunday. These two sides go head-to-head at Headingley. And all of the coverage of the second T20 International starting at 1:50 on Sunday afternoon. So spend your Sunday with us. Here's Parkinson to continue from the pavilion end. Bowls and slog swept into space. Slog swept very well by Mohammad Rizwan. Instead of trying to play it too fine or out towards deep mid-wicket, he's actually managed to manoeuvre the ball in front, way in front of square. Very clever, fast hands from Rizwan. 125 without loss, and welcome back, James Anderson.
Tough for Matt Parkinson. He's struggled a bit tonight. These two Pakistan batsmen played him really well.
Scuttles in now. This is straighter delivery, turned with a straight bat to Rizwan, who set off so quickly, but then just broke out into a walk, knowing that he was only ever going to get one from that. 126 without loss. Parkinson spins himself a catch, bows and then straightens as he comes down the pitch. Does Babar Azam, works the ball into the leg side. He'll pick up a comfortable 2. And actually, over the last, as Pakistan moved to 127 without loss, over the last 3 or 4 overs, Babar has been the silent partner in comparison to Rizwan.
Yeah, Rizwan was scratchy at the start, wasn't he? He was really struggled to find any rhythm. But as the innings has gone on, he's definitely taken control and putting pressure on the England bowlers.
Babar waits for Parkinson, gets walloped in the leg side. Stand there and admire it. Why don't you, Babar Azam? Longest part of the ground. And it was again the speed of which the hands came through, and he just swats it over towards the Larwood and Vaux stands for 6 more. 134 without loss.
Yeah, it's a great shot. He advanced down the wicket, little shuffle down the pitch. Ball's exactly where he would have wanted it. Landed on the stumps, didn't spin much. He could just sort of right into his arc over a wide long on. And this chat now between Eoin Morgan and Matt Parkinson. I'm not sure what else they can do here.
I was going to ask, is there any?
This pitch seems, the ground just seems too small for Rizwan and Babar at the minute.
Enormous jumbo jet overhead, saunters off as this has been chipped over. Extra cover for 4 this time. I wondered if Eoin Morgan was going to get a catch straight down his throat. He was unmoved, and that's because the timing was so good from Babar Azam as he played a lofted extra cover drive straight past the England captain and to the boundary for 4 more runs, 138 without loss.
Well, pressure on Parkinson as well. He just got a bit wider with that one, thinking he might come down the pitch again.
Serene off drive out towards long off to finish the over. 14 runs, 14 overs bowled. Pakistan going almost at 10s, 139 without loss. And he's used all his bowlers. He's tried. Everybody has Eoin Morgan, but sometimes the pitch is too good. The batsmen are pretty good. The ball's not really done anything after 2 or 3 overs, and it's just basically try and keep it down as low as you possibly can.
Yeah, we mentioned it right at the start before a ball was bowled at the pitch here at Headingley? Trent Bridge.
But the pitch there too.
Yeah, the pitch is decent there, but here in white ball cricket is generally excellent, and we've seen that tonight. It's not done a huge amount. It hasn't spun much at all, if any. We saw a little bit of swing early, but apart from that, it just looks a really true pitch with good pace in it as well, so you get value for your shots. You don't have to overhit it. From a sort of kisses onto the bat nicely.
From a bowling perspective, sometimes there's 2 schools of thought depending on the pitch. Do you go hard length at the death or Yorker length with slower balls thrown in? What's this pitch?
I'd have to say Yorkers,
yeah.
Just because we've not seen any spin. I don't see the slower balls gripping in the pitch enough to put the batsman off or draw them into a false shot, so I'd potentially go Yorkers.
Lewis Gregory, who can bowl them, is back into the attack. His first delivery is hammered away. We could be in for a catch here. It's been hit that far, almost into the 3rd tier of the Radcliffe Road end. I've got to tell you that was in the arc. I mean, it was in a beautiful hitting zone for Babar Azam, who launches into it, hits it straight down the ground for 6, 145 without loss.
Yes, as we were saying there, slow ball's maybe not the option. That's an off-cutter from Lewis Gregory at 70 miles an hour, right in the slot. It's not gripped at all. It's just kissed on this surface, right into the slot for Babar Azam. He can just swing his hands through it. It's a lovely swing of the bat, but just I do feel Yorkers have got to be the option for England here.
Lewis Gregory speaking with David Willey as the shadows start to creep across the ground here as the sun sets to our left, as this has been a lofted drive by Babar Azam out towards deep point. A single is taken, 145, 146 without loss. Brings Rizwan back on strike. Babar is 83 from 47.
Yeah, pace on the ball there. That was a bit quicker, about 10 miles an hour quicker than his last ball. It looked like he was searching for a Yorker, but it was sort of half volley length and got away with it with a skew out to sort of that deep cover fielder. But I think that's the way forward for Lewis Gregory. He's got to look for that block hole.
Gregory away from us, going from shadow into light as a low full toss is drilled down the ground. It's beat Gregory. He holds his hand up in apologies, does Gregory, because there's no chance for David Willey to stop it at mid-off. And the 150 comes up for Pakistan. Rizwan 63 from 40 and Pakistan 150 without loss.
It's all well and good having that plan of going for Yorkers, but you've got to execute them, and that was an attempted Yorker by Lewis Gregory, but it's met on the full by Rizwan. He doesn't get all of it, but he gets enough bat on it to get it over Lewis Gregory's head, straight back down the ground, and enough to beat David Willey at mid-off. And it's just, there's now a discussion between David Willey, Eoin Morgan and Lewis Gregory. It feels like England are running out of ideas here. I think the Yorker is the right option. Yeah. It's just making sure you get the field right, firstly. If you're going Yorkers potentially mid-off back, then you fine leg up.
Yeah.
And then once you've set the right field, you've got to execute the skill.
Well, fine legs back for the moment. There's 4 on the leg side boundary as Gregory sets off and bowls another little cutter. Has it been edged? Has it been caught? It has, and he has. A little off cutter, which actually darted back in quite sharply to Mohammad Rizwan. He tried to uppercut it over Jonny Bairstow. All he managed to do, because there was no pace on the ball, was guide it into the gloves of Bairstow, and finally it's taken 15 overs almost, but England have their first breakthrough, and it's come via Lewis Gregory. a fabulous innings comes to an end from Mohammad Rizwan. It's 63 from 41 deliveries, and Pakistan are 150 for 1.
Yeah, it's a good bit of bowling. He's looking to hit that short boundary. Extra cover is Rizwan. He's giving himself room to the leg side. But the difference between this slow ball and the first ball of the over, which went for 6, he's actually driven this into the surface, driven it into the pitch, short back of a length. And as you say, it followed Rizwan. Didn't give him any room whatsoever. He's gone for the delicate uppercut, where he's had so much success playing strong shots. This time he tries to be too cute. And as it's followed him back, it's just potentially caught the glove on the way through.
Just sort of looped a little bit, didn't it? So it wasn't a flat trajectory towards Bairstow. Well, Sohaib Maqsood, always a man for a crisis. 150 for 1 with 5.2 overs remaining. Lewis Gregory, the only one in the wickets column. And if you're Sohaib Maqsood, get your partner on strike. He's 83 from 47 deliveries, while you, even though he can strike a mean ball himself, at the moment, Babar is playing so wonderfully well as a Pakistan supporter is running up and down towards the William Clark stand to our right-hand side. Flag above his head. It's just billowing in the wind like Batman's cape would. Delighted they are, and what entertainment they've received from Rizwan and Babar Azam. But Rizwan's back in the hutch now. It's Sohaib Maqsood on strike as Lewis Gregory comes towards him. Bowls edged and dropped by Jonny Bairstow, and that has taken the glove and could go all the way for 4. And goodness me, the first balls of both Babar Azam's innings and now Sohaib Maqsood's innings have been shelled behind the wicket off outside edges. It was a nasty one for Jonny Bairstow. He caught it right on the end of the finger. However, you've got to think that he's got to catch that. Orthodox edge. He's just slightly misjudged it, and it's 154 for 1.
I think it's done him for pace, Jonny Bairstow. He looks late on it with the catch, with the gloves. He's moving in the right direction, but the ball almost hits him on the end of the finger before he's actually got into the position he needs to be in to take the catch.
He's not happy.
Yeah, he's struggling.
He's got his head or his chin firmly stuck in his chest. Looking down, he's just held Lewis Gregory up. He is definitely in some pain. He'll be loath to show it, but he's struggling. He has to receive the ball from Gregory now, who bowls to Sohaib Maqsood, who's 4 not out of his first delivery, punches it into the onside where Jason Roy fields, and it's the end of the over. A successful one from England's perspective, but Pakistan 155 for 1. 200, 210, 220, anything possibly on offer for Pakistan here on this fabulous pitch, and a glorious evening at Trent Bridge. Jimmy, some more from you, and then to take through the end of the innings, it'll be Atif Nawaz.
Yeah, Pakistan in a fantastic position. They've got 5 overs left, 9 wickets in hand. You would expect them to cruise past that 200 mark and set England a really tough total on this pitch. It's a good pitch, as we've said. Babar Azam in particular has played fantastically well. Looks majestic when he's in this sort of form.
Majestic is the bang-on word, Jimmy. He played an incredible knock in vain, of course, at Edgbaston. Keen to take his team through to their first win on this tour. England have been so dominant all summer in white ball cricket. Pakistan looking good here to challenge them here in Nottingham. Still 5 overs to go. England looking to pull this total back a little bit. 155 for 1. 5 overs to go. There's, of course, a new batter at the crease. Sohaib Maqsood has been brought in specifically for that finisher role by Pakistan. Aggressive, hard-hitting batter. It's Tom Curran back in now for the first ball of his 3rd over. He bowls a full ball. Sohaib Maqsood's got underneath that and banged it over that mid-wicket boundary for a huge 6. The carnage continues for Pakistan. 161 for 1.
Yeah, he's not having a look, is he? He's not trying to get himself in. He's just going from ball 1 here. He's got, to be fair, a great opportunity with just 5 overs left and 9 wickets in hand. He can afford to do that, but it's a great shot. It's a slow ball from Tom Curran, but he's managed to get under it. Got a big piece of it and timed it so well for his third ball of his innings. To time it like that's really impressive.
Yeah, just picked that slower ball very, very quickly. It's gone into the crowd, so it's going to have to be sanitized by the umpire. It's been done now. Tom Curran has the ball back in his hand. Sohaib Maqsood, 11 off 3. What's he going to do with this one? In comes Curran now. Short this time. Big swing from Sohaib Maqsood over mid-on. And it's gone all the way for 6. Extraordinary hitting from Sohaib Maqsood. The fans in Nottingham are going wild. 167 for 1.
Yeah, another amazing shot. It's sort of potentially going for the Yorker there, Tom Curran, but not getting the length right. So it's sort of half volley-ish length, but still an amazing shot to get underneath it like that and hit it over extra cover. He didn't look like he was trying to hit, smash it. He just timed it so well. 17 off 4. What a start to his innings.
It's an extraordinary team, Pakistan. I mean, they can look like 2 different extremes in 2 different matches. 2 sixes in this over so far. In comes Curran to Maqsood. This time he just dabs it behind point. There'll be some work to do for the sweeper. Moeen Ali get quickly onto the ball. The batters do get back for 2. Comfortably in the end. So Sohaib will keep the strike. 3 balls into this over. 14 runs off it already. Pakistan 169 for 1. Almost the first time really on this tour for Pakistan. England dugout looking a little bit shaky.
A few sheepish looks from the coaching staff on the England bench, but I think they'll see it's a good pitch, and if they can keep Pakistan to 220, I think they'll be happy to chase that.
In comes Curran to Maqsood now. He goes for the pull shot. Curran adjusted his line. Maqsood misses the ball. He goes through to the keeper. A red top ball. Some ironic boos from the Larwood stand. The fans are having a great time. Just the atmosphere here is electric. Here in Nottingham, it's such a beautiful ground. It really contains that atmosphere as well.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere. Always is a great atmosphere here, and a great place to play cricket. I always absolutely loved it here.
The crowd at Trent Bridge being treated to an absolute classic batting performance here now, as in comes Curran. Short has been pulled by Maqsood straight to the fielder at mid-wicket, and Maqsood's little cameo comes to an end. He can't believe he's picked out that fielder. The forlorn look on his face. But he's gone. Pakistan 169 for 2.
It's a slow ball from Tom Curran. He's dragged it into the surface quite short. It's been picked by Maqsood. Sort of taking his time. It's taken an age to get to him. When he does, he connects really well, but it goes flat and straight to David Willey on the mid-wicket boundary. Tom Curran showing his delight that he's got rid of him, because such a dangerous player.
Yes, 19 runs off 7 balls for Sohaib Maqsood. Tom Curran does for him. Excellent catch in the deep as well by David Willey, holding his nerve. A couple of catches have gone down already. Sohaib Maqsood went down first ball. Babar Azam went down in the first over. Could have been a very different game. As it stands, Pakistan on the precipice of a big total here. 169 for 2. Still 25 deliveries to come in this innings, as Fakhar Zaman comes out to bat at the rather unusual position for him of number 4. Just odd to see him at number 4, isn't it? Like Alex Stewart at number 6.
Why do you think that is?
Well, they've opted to stick with the Rizwan Babar partnership that's proved to be quite good for them in this format. Against South Africa, against Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And Babar likes to bat up top as well, so he's kind of pulled rank, I imagine. But Fakhar Zaman in at number 4, well, this is going to take some getting used to.
Yeah, it looks like to me, like obviously Rizwan played well today, but looks to me like both of them could do, or certainly Rizwan potentially would be the one to drop down the order, maybe to 4, and if you wanted Fakhar Zaman to open the batting. But on today's evidence, you'd say it's a decent opening partnership.
Looks like a genius move when it comes off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
169 for 2. Fakhar Zaman will be on strike, as the batters couldn't cross in that last shot. In comes Curran now, short ball. Fakhar just guiding it fine down to third man. It's going to race away to the boundary. Fakhar off the mark immediately. The runs continue to come for Pakistan. After 16 overs, Pakistan 173 for 2. You've got to say, it's a big total on the offing here.
Yeah, it's a lovely shot, isn't it? We've just seen Maqsood come in and power it everywhere for 7 balls, and then Fakhar Zaman's first ball, just such a delicate, deft touch down to third man. He's seen the slower ball, but just using what pace is left on it to guide it down to third man and show that it's not all about power in this game. You can still get value for some nice sort of touch shots.
Yeah, it's a bit of finesse from Fakhar Zaman. You don't often associate the word delicate with Fakhar Zaman, but there we go. Well, this is a bit of a challenge here for the England bowlers. Eoin Morgan having a long conversation with David Willey, and he does that thing that he told me he does. He takes the ball from the bowler's hand. He takes it, takes that pressure off.
Yeah.
You think about what you're going to do, and then I'll hand you the ball. Now then, David Willey, what can he do here? He's got Babar on 83 on strike. In comes Willey. He bowls, low full toss. Babar swings it into the leg side. They want two. They're coming back. It's a bigger boundary. And they make it back for two with ease in the end. Moeen Ali's been really busy in the deep today. Back in the side today, 175 for two. At this stage of an innings, Jimmy, it all kind of rests on how well you time your variations as a bowler.
Yeah, it's trying to get the field right and then bowling, having options to bowl different balls with the same sort of field, so you're sort of keeping the batsman guessing.
Willey in now, full ball, outside edge. Well, there's an appeal as if there's an outside edge. The umpire is unmoved. It looked like Babar just fed that straight through to the keeper. We're going to have another look at it. The umpire's sent it upstairs. In fact, England have reviewed it. It looked like it took the outside edge. Babar was unmoved. The umpire was unmoved.
We have a player review for caught behind. The original decision is not out. It's a fair delivery. Go front on, please.
It could be one of those sort of. He looked like he hit the ground as the ball went past, so it could have made a noise that makes them think he's edged it.
So the third umpire is Alex Worf. Oh, it does look like he's got an outside edge.
Can we go to ultra edge, please?
Look pretty conclusive. Yeah, ultra edge confirms it.
Just take that back, please. Just take it back. Thank you, and then go through. Next frame. Can we hold it there, please? There's a clear spike on the bat. Can we go back on field and ready, please? David, you're going to have to reverse your decision to out. You're on screen now. You can make your decision.
Yep. Umpire Alex Worf confirming that it was indeed an outside edge. So we thought for a while he might get back-to-back hundreds, Babar Azam, but in the end it's not to be. 85 for him. Jonny Bairstow with the catch. An extraordinary innings from Babar Azam has given Pakistan an extreme platform here to work with. 175 for 3. 16.2 overs gone. It's Pakistan's most experienced player, Mohammad Hafeez, is going to come out. This won't hurt England's cause at all. You dismiss the informed man who's really going after the ball. He might be able to pinch 10, 15, 20 runs here.
Yeah, it's a big wicket. Babar Azam looks absolutely fantastic there for his during that knock, and I think getting two fresh batsmen at the crease at this stage of the innings is really good for England. It could make the difference between Pakistan getting 200 and 220. It could be that much of a difference. 20 runs it could save. So big part of the game for both teams here, and it's quite an excitingly set up, really, isn't it? 7 wickets in hand, still Pakistan. So there's still opportunity there for them to play sort of carefree shots.
Absolutely, and the most experienced player, Mohammad Hafeez, 41 years young, showing that he's still very, very classy. In December against New Zealand, scored a terrific knock of 99 to win Pakistan. They're only T20 on that tour. It's a difficult tour for them. He's still going strong as Mohammad Hafeez. He's the new batter. He's on strike as in comes David Willey. Bowls a back of a length delivery, which Hafeez just defends back to him, and there is no run. Well, that's what we're talking about, Jimmy Anderson. Dot balls with new batters. You're pinching runs here, there, and everywhere. Taking that total, that could be 220, 230, down to 210, 200.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what David Willey will be looking to do here. Make it really difficult for Mohammad Hafeez to get off strike, to keep the scoreboard ticking over. You could if you just sneak a couple of dots in here, it could make a huge difference.
Hafeez on strike. He awaits David Willey, just jogs in. Holds a short ball, Hafeez pulls, it's gone up in the air. It just drops short of Moeen Ali, who was sprinting in from deep square leg. Hafeez off the mark, he's got a single. 176 for 3 now, 16.4 overs gone. Fakhar Zaman back on strike. He's only faced 1 ball so far, he hit it for 4.
Yeah, it's a really good over this by David Willey so far. A crucial wicket of Babar Azam. Dot ball and then a single. It's been a really, really good over, and it's been on a good pitch. We've seen how difficult it's been for the England bowlers to try and create any sort of pressure. there's always been an outlet for Pakistan, a boundary shot or even just a 2 or a 1, just ticking the board over, keeping the strike rotating.
Yes, well, Eoin Morgan having a long old chat with David Willey, talking about the field. Eoin Morgan now going back to his position at mid-off. So much chat. Eoin Morgan always in his bowler's ear, always backing his bowlers, strategizing. As in comes Willey now to Fakhar Zaman, who pulls the ball down to deep backward square leg for a single. This is a terrific over from David Willey, a real momentum breaker for Pakistan. That run rate still above 10, 10.51, but could have gone up to 11s and 12s. David Willey just showing his experience, and Eoin Morgan again just slowing the game down, just taking his time, building that pressure on these Pakistani batters. 177 for 3. The beautiful floodlights are illuminating the ground here at Trent Bridge. In comes Willey now. Short ball again, pulled by Hafeez. This one's got a long way into the stand. You're going to have to sanitize that one as well. Hafeez with a cheeky smile. He knows he's really got a hold of it, and the fans at Nottingham are going wild. 183 for 3 after 17 overs.
Yeah, it was another short ball from David Willey, but this one didn't have as much purpose as the one before, where Hafeez got a top edge out to deep square leg. This one was just sort of chest high, and Hafeez was able to get a good bit of bat on it and swing it away over square leg for 6, and quite an easy shot in the end. It was just a nothing ball really. It was 75 miles an hour, just as I say, chest high. If you're going to bowl a short ball here at Trent Bridge, you've got to really mean it and really try and drive it into the pitch, and that was certainly not done there by David Willey, and it ruined a pretty good over from him.
Yeah, he was the most economical bowler for England up until 4 overs. He's bowled, and an economy of under 10 up until then. Of course, it's gone beyond that now. Now Saqib Mahmood back, and he's bowled 2 overs 0 for 15, which makes him the pick of the bowlers today so far. He's got 2 death bowlers here to bowl. He comes into Fakhar. It's a full ball. Fakhar gets underneath it. He drives that over into the fence for another big 6. The 6s aren't stopping here in Nottingham. 189 for 3. The flames go around the ground. The cheers go around the ground. It's going to be a run fest here at Trent Bridge.
Yeah, Saqib trying to go for the Yorker there. It's just a half volley. Doesn't quite get it in the block hole. And a player of Fakhar Zaman's quality is going to be able to get underneath that and dispatch it. I don't think he got all of it, but it's quite a short boundary out to that part of the ground.
It's almost like a golf drive in the end. In comes Saqib Mahmood. Low full toss this time. Another swing from Fakhar Zaman. Goes down to mid-wicket. They take the first one quickly, and they get back for the second with ease. And it's very impressive cardiovascular conditioning from Mohammad Hafeez. Had the opportunity to play golf with him before as well. He's a pretty good driver himself. 191 for 3. This will be a big test for young Saqib Mahmood. He's been promoted into this England T20 side on the back of his phenomenal player of the series performance in the ODI series. How can he back that up here? What different dimensions can he show? As in he comes now to Fakhar Zaman, back of a length, a bit slower. And Fakhar just pushing the ball to point for a single. 192 for 3. This is what you want, really, isn't it, Jimmy? You want to see these prospects. Someone like a Saqib Mahmood is probably on the edge of contention for that World T20 squad. You want to see him tested.
Yeah, definitely. That's where Eoin Morgan's going to find out the most about him, when he's under pressure, bowling in these pressure situations. You know, with 192 on the board, a couple of overs left, against a quality batting lineup like Pakistan have got, and experience as well. You know, it's going to do Saqib Mahmood the world of good as well. You know, that's how you learn the most about your game, how to deal with certain situations, how to deal with that pressure. So it'll just help him grow as a cricketer.
And it's got Pakistanis with their tails up, coming after him. As in comes Saqib Mahmood, and he comes to Mohammad Hafeez. It's a full Yorker length ball. It's been driven at by Hafeez. Goes out to Moeen Ali, deep backward point. They take a single. 193 for 3 now. Well, Pakistan have nearly already bettered 2 of their 3 scores from the ODI series in this innings. 194 in one match, and 141 in Cardiff. Something about this format that just energizes that team.
Yeah, they're really impressive, and led amazingly well by, for me, the best T20 player in the world.
Saqib Mahmood in once again. This time, big swing behind square. It's gone over. It's gone into the crowd. It's gone deep. Watch your heads over there. Another 6. Pakistan putting in a dominant display here at Trent Bridge. 199 for 3. There's a Pakistan fan in the crowd with a "It's coming home" sign. Well, that ball's going to be coming home. It went a long way.
I think that's come onto the 3rd tier where we are. It's gone that far. Sort of, it's the wrong line from Saqib Mahmood. It's outside leg stump, so Fakhar Zaman can just use the pace and help it on its way, almost like a ramp shot, but with a bit more force. Gets it onto the 3rd tier, which is a pretty impressive hit here at Trent Bridge.
It was almost like he pulled it, but from behind him.
Yeah.
Pulled the ball. It was an extraordinary shot. Read the pace very quickly. It's been an expensive over this from Saqib Mahmood. 16 off it so far with 1 ball to come. Fakhar Zaman lining him up again. 199 for 3. In comes Mahmood. Short ball. Fakhar Zaman pulls. It's gone down fine. It's gone for another 6. Carnage here at Trent Bridge as Pakistan go to 205 for 3 after 18 overs. Fans are dancing. Well, they put in a dismal display in Cardiff. A disappointing display at Lord's. They look better at Birmingham, but they look fully cooked here in Nottingham.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good short ball from Saqib Mahmood to finish his over, but unfortunately, when it can happen when players are going this hard, if you get a top edge and bowl at the pace that Saqib Mahmood does, there's a danger it will fly all the way for 6, and that's what happened there. It wasn't a well-timed shot by Fakhar Zaman. It was a top edge, but as I said, with the extra pace of Saqib Mahmood, it just flies here at Trent Bridge into the crowd, and they're now in a fantastic position.
Is there a case, Jimmy, to bowl almost half your balls as slower balls at this stage of the innings?
It's tricky when on a pitch as good as this, when we've not seen a slow ball really gripping the surface. Unless you've got a really good one like Tom Curran, for example, we might see a few more from him now. He's bowling the penultimate over of this innings. But I think it's difficult trying to find that balance of when to bowl it and when not to, especially on, as I say, a really good pitch like this.
Hafeez on strike now. He's got 8 from his 4 deliveries. In storms Tom Curran. He bowls low full toss. It's been swung into the fence on the leg side this time. Over the fence. Another 6. Everything's going for 6 right now. 211 for Pakistan after 18.1 overs. My oh my, you run out of superlatives. Didn't even target the shorter boundary that time. Just picked it out. Knew he was going to clear it. Another 6 runs.
Yeah, I think England are going to be, if they look back on this bowling performance, they might be a little bit disappointed. They've not made Pakistan hit their best ball. They've gone for the Yorker a few times and not executed it. They've either been too short or too full. That one too full. Full toss for Mohammad Hafeez, and a player of his quality is going to dispatch that. He's
on 14 off 5 now. As in comes Curran. Full ball. That time he does get the Yorker right. And would you believe it? It's a dot ball. Some applause, some boos from this Trent Bridge crowd. 211 for 3.
Yeah, but that just shows that, you know, a Yorker's a good ball on any pitch. Gets it in the block hole. Mohammad Hafeez can only just dig it out, really. Can't get under it or squeeze it away for any runs.
Hafeez has got 14 off 6. Tom Curran now. And he comes. Low full toss again. This time it's been smashed down the ground. Over the fence again, or into the sponge. We're going to have another look at that. No, we're not. The umpire says it's 6. Well, you might get the odd dot ball in there, but you're going to see more 6s right now. 217 for 3. We knew we'd see runs on this pitch, but I dare say, not in Pakistan's wildest dreams did they think they'd get this many, Jimmy Anderson.
Well, no, it seems like every player that's come to the crease has just sort of hit the ground running from ball 1. They've timed it, each and every one of them, put the bad ball away, and that, again, it was just Tom Curran searching for the Yorker. It's a full toss just outside off stump, and all Mohammad Hafeez has to do is, doesn't have to smack it, doesn't have to do anything out of the ordinary, just play a normal cricket shot over the top of mid-off, who was inside the circle, and yeah, it goes for 6. It times it well, goes for 6, and now they put mid-off back on the boundary for that particular reason.
217 for 3. In comes Curran now, short outside the off stump, slow ball, under edge from Hafeez, goes on the bounce to Jonny Bairstow, and there's no run, a moment of calm amidst all this carnage. 8 deliveries to come in this innings. Still, Pakistan, well, you know, I try my best not to use the word mercurial, Jimmy, because it's the most overused word when it comes to the Pakistan team, but how else do you describe a team that can look so flat in one game and so extraordinary and world-beating in another?
I think it's just the comfort they have with this format. They all look so comfortable with it.
217 for 3. In comes Curran, full ball, it's been smashed through the covers, it beats the fielder, Gregory, who was sweeping, got nowhere near that. 4 more runs to the Pakistan total, 221 for 3. As you say, Jimmy Anderson, Pakistan batting with comfort now. Mohammad Hafeez finding the boundary again. It's been a phenomenal batting display. They do love their T20 cricket in Pakistan, of course. 2 T20 competitions there, the national T20 and the PSL. They love that format of cricket. They've been very successful, world champions in 2009. And T20 cricket, England, of course, world champions in 2010 under Paul Collingwood. Now then, 221 for 3. 7 balls to come. In comes Tom Curran. Full ball, Yorker length, he's bowled him! Well, Tom Curran gets his Yorker right, and he goes through Mohammad Hafeez. You might argue the damage has been done slightly. 24 from 10 balls from Mohammad Hafeez, but even so, England will be pleased to just get a moment of respite. Pakistan with 1 over to go are 221 for 4.
Yeah, it's a really good bit of bowling. Gets his Yorker right that time, but he'll be really frustrated that he's not executed that enough this over. He's bowled 2 Yorkers that both dot balls, one with a wicket, and a slow ball that was a dot, but then three boundaries from the other 3 balls have done the damage there.
They have.
It's just frustrating that they've not quite executed the skill. They've not potentially picked the right ball to bowl at the right time and just given Pakistan an out somewhere. You know, they've given them an option or an opportunity to score runs quite freely.
Well, it brings the debutant Azam Khan to the crease. We've talked a lot about Azam Khan. You can find out more about him on an article I wrote for the BBC Sport website. He's the son of Moeen Khan, great Pakistani wicketkeeper. On debut, I think he would have been expecting to have a little bit more of a bat here, but he's going to start at the non-strikers end. Very destructive batter for the Quetta Gladiators in the PSL.
I played against his dad.
Did you get on?
It makes me feel old, that. I played against his dad.
Well, you could potentially, Jimmy, play against both of them. I can't imagine there's too many players played against father and son combos. I wish Andy Zoltzman was there. He could probably tell us, but
I don't think I want to know, to be honest.
I was going to text him. 221 for 4. After 19 overs, 1 over to go. Saqib Mahmood to bowl the final over. He's got Fakhar Zaman on strike. He starts with a full ball. Fakhar's underneath it. He smashed it high, but he doesn't have the distance. It's caught at long on by Jason Roy. And Fakhar's cameo comes to an end. 26 of 8 deliveries in the end. Again, you'd argue the damage has been done. A good execution from Saqib Mahmood. Got his length right. Good field placement by Eoin Morgan. Got his fielding position right. Pakistan lose another one. 221 for 5.
Yeah, just missed time there by Fakhar Zaman. He's going for the mid-on boundary that he hit a couple of times in a previous over from Saqib Mahmood. This time he does get it. It's not a perfect Yorker, but it's full enough to make him mistime it. And it's at 90 miles an hour as well, above 90 miles an hour, that ball. So again, making it really hard for the batter to get underneath it and get that leverage to hit it for 6, and an easy catch for Jason Roy in the end. But as you say, has the damage already been done?
Well, if anybody can chase this score down, Jimmy, it'll be an England team that have made history on this pitch multiple times. Well, now then, Imad Wasim, Wales' own, is at the non-strikers end. Spent his formative years in Wales. In Cardiff did Imad Wasim. He's going to be the non-strikers now. Azam Khan, son of Moeen, facing up to his first ever delivery as a Pakistan international player. In comes Saqib Mahmood. He bowls right outside the off-stump. It's been hammered by Azam Khan, who's hit his first ball in international cricket to the boundary boundary for 4. Well, that's one way to start your career. Pakistan 225 for 5.
Yeah, it's a good shot. Saqib Mahmood going for a Yorker, wide Yorker. It's a half volley though, and Khan just slicing it through extra cover. Times it well. Nice way to start your international career.
Yes, well, a shot his father would be proud of. Some intent and confidence from Azam Khan. He's on strike. In comes Saqib Mahmood. Full and wide outside the off stump, and that will be given a wide by the umpire. Saqib just looking for those tram lines, just missing by a whisker. Costs him the run and the extra delivery. 226 for 5. It's a big score, but as we keep saying, this England team back to the first choice 11 as well. Of course, a couple of changes in there, but Jason Roy, Jonny Bairstow, Dawid Malan, plenty of firepower for England.
Yeah, absolutely. Eoin Morgan down on the team sheet at 6 with Liam Livingstone and Moeen Ali 4 and 5.
Gregory's
so
been in great form.
Plenty of bat in there, yeah.
In comes Azam Khan. Azam Khan on strike. In comes Mahmood. This time he hits him on the pad. It was going down leg. There's no appeal. Azam runs through for a quick single. Makes it. Will they go for the overthrow? They will. They're coming back for an overthrow. Well, I guarantee if you looked at the odds before the game, you'd get some pretty long odds on Azam Khan running through for an overthrow. That's an extraordinary sequence. 228 for 5.
Bit of an inexperience there from Saqib Mahmood. He's gone to shy at the non-striker's end, but misses. Potentially could have held on to that ball and just conceded the 1 run, but instead he's conceded 2.
Now then, the anticipation amongst the crowd grows, the noise grows. Saqib Mahmood in now to Azam Khan. He bowls a full toss. Azam pulls it on the bounce to the fielder in the deep, nearly into his hands. So close for Lewis Gregory. Azam takes a single. He's on to 5 from 3 balls. Pakistan 229 for 5. And well, Saqib Mahmood just organising his field. He's flailing his arms all over the place like a marionette.
Yeah, he's got away with that one, that last ball. It was a just under waist high full toss, and it could quite easily have been dispatched for 4 or 6, but got away with it. It's just conceded 1 run.
Yes, well, this is where those wickets are going to come into play. They've just dented that momentum of Pakistan. They're on 229 now. What would they have gotten if they didn't lose those wickets? In comes Mahmood now. Imad Wasim has made some room for himself, scooped that ball just short of a diving Moeen Ali, gets the throw back in extraordinarily. It's just 2, but so many things happened there. Jimmy Anderson 231 for 5. Gotta catch my breath.
Lots going on. Imad just coming right across the stumps there to scoop it, and Saqib Mahmood searching for the stumps. As a bowler, when you see those stumps being shown by the batsman, your eyes light up and you want to try and hit them. It's pretty much where Imad wanted it, and he didn't get it. And it was a great effort by Moeen Ali, actually. He had to cover a lot of ground, and a diving attempt to catch it. Didn't quite make it though, and they get 3 for 2.
Yeah, he did manage to stop the ball running away from him there, Moeen Ali. A lot of control shown there and appreciated by Saqib Mahmood, who just clapped his fielder. Now then, the final ball of what's been an extraordinary innings here by Pakistan. They're on 2-3-1 for 5. Saqib Mahmood comes into Imad Wasim for the final delivery. He bowls a low full toss. Imad drives it down to long on. They take the first one quickly. They want 2. They're running back. It's going to be tight. He's going to be run out. Imad coming back for that second one. Always looked in trouble. He's been given out on the field. So, after 20 overs of some breathtaking hitting by Pakistan, they put 232 runs on the board for a loss of 5 wickets. It's a huge total, but Jimmy Anderson, if any team in world cricket can chase this down, maybe even with an over or 2 to spare, it's England.
It is, yeah. I think Pakistan did bat very well. Babar Azam was excellent. And the partnership with Rizwan, that 150 was really good, and a brilliant base for Pakistan to build on. But I think Eoin Morgan would actually, when they look back on this, the bowling wasn't quite up to scratch. There was quite a few loose deliveries. Didn't nail the Yorkers at the end, and I think it's something that England will have to improve. That getting those skills right, the death bowling. picking when to bowl the slow ball, making sure the fielders are in the right position. I just felt like they didn't quite nail that today. But all credit to Pakistan, they did play brilliantly. And you know, as Atif said, if any team can chase this down, it's hit this England side.
Well, it's been breathless stuff. James, for the moment, thank you so much. And James Anderson will be with us throughout the course of the response, which will be an interesting affair. This is time to catch your breath, I think, after the blitz that we've just seen from Pakistan. Let me just go through some statistics for you. The third highest score for that England have conceded ever in a T20. 248 for 6 versus Australia at the Ageas Bowl in 2013. 241 for 6 versus South Africa at Centurion. Then Pakistan slot in with their 232 in at third place. And interestingly, the fourth highest score that England conceded was 229 for 4 versus South Africa at Mumbai in 2016, which they proceeded to knock off. Only 3 scores over 230 to win have ever been scored to win a T20 game in history. England would have to make it number 4, but I just thought it was interesting that England have knocked off a score like this in T20 cricket, and that was in the when they got to the final of the T20 World Cup over in India. As for Pakistan, easily their highest ever T20 international total. Their highest previous was 205 for 1 versus South Africa at Centurion. That was quite recently in 2021, and the second highest T20 partnership between Babar, Azam and Mohammad Rizwan. Let me quickly run through the scorecard before we find out what's going on at domestic level, because there's some T20 blast going on this evening, coming towards the business end of that competition. Mohammad Rizwan caught Bairstow, bowled Gregory for 63. That was after a 150-run partnership between Rizwan and Babar Azam. Sohaib Maqsood was caught Willey, bowled Curran for 19 off just 7 balls, 1 4 and 2 sixes. Babar Azam 85 from 49, deserved 100, should have been out first ball of the innings, getting dropped at slip by Dawid Malan off the bowling of David Willey. Goodness, he made England pay. 85 from 49 deliveries, 8 fours and 3 sixes. Fakhar Zaman 26 from 8, 1 4, 3 sixes. Mohammad Hafeez 24 from 10, 1 4, 3 sixes. He was bowled by Curran. Imad was run out by Jason Roy for 3, and Khan was not out 5. As for the England bowlers, there were 3 wides and 4 led by 7 extras in total, 232 for 6. David Willey 1 for 39. Saqib Mahmood 1 for 46. Tom Curran 2 for 47, all off 4 overs. Lewis Gregory 1 for 25 off 2. Matt Parkinson 0 for 47 off 4. Liam Livingston just the 2 overs, 0 for 24. So England require 233 runs to win. It'll take a monumental effort. However, short boundaries here at Trent Bridge, a beautiful batting surface. We could be on for some real entertainment from in the second half of this game on Test Match Special. 5 Live, Sports Extra, anything you may have missed, make sure you catch on the cricket section of the BBC Sport website. There are in-play highlights, that also available on the BBC Sport app as well. Right, let's talk domestic T20 cricket. Henry Moran has joined me. Evening, Henners.
Hello, Daggers.
Have you managed to catch your breath after that?
No, I feel utterly exhausted.
Yes, me too.
Watching that.
Me too.
They say that, oh, well, T20, you just get exhausted and bored of the sixes. I didn't, actually.
I didn't. No,
I was having the time of my life.
Especially as they started growing ever bigger and bigger. There was one that was hit by Fakhar Zaman into the top tier of the Radcliffe Road end. If that's boring, well, I don't know what to tell you. What's going on around the country
Well,
now?
lots is going on because it is the T20 blast is continuing, and we're moving towards the business end of the group stages. 6 matches going on as we head towards the conclusion. Top 4 in each group qualify for the quarterfinals. Just a reminder of that. The holders, Notts Outlaws, Kent Spitfires already through. Hampshire have an interesting day today. They've got a double header at home. They've already beaten Essex, and they're playing Sussex as we speak.
Well, interestingly, Hampshire had to play their first 7 games away from home because India were using the Ageas Bowl as a hideout.
These are the times
and the women's.
These are the times that we live in. Surrey beat Gloucestershire earlier on, but let me go through what's going on around the country. Hampshire against Essex. That was the game earlier on. Hampshire winning by 18 runs. They bowled Essex out for 153. Player of the match, James Vince, fresh on that 100 at Edgbaston for England. He made 63 53 in the first innings. So Hampshire winning that game. Surrey, as I say, chased down 178 to beat Gloucestershire. Gloucestershire with Glenn Phillips top scoring in the first innings with 48, 4 wickets for Gus Atkinson for Surrey. With the bat, well, Jamie Smith and Laurie Evans both hit half centuries as they chased down their target to secure that victory at Cheltenham. Kent against Middlesex. Middlesex struggling a little bit. They're 26 for 3 into the final over of the power play. Their target is 158. Farron Chopra and Max Holden out in the middle with Sam Robson, Joe Cracknell and Daryl Mitchell all out for very low scores. So there's a little bit of trouble for Middlesex in that game. Earlier on we saw Harry Finch top scoring with 47. And you've got to say at this point it looks like it's Kent's game to lose. The Bears against the Pears at Edgbaston.
Yes.
Oh yes,
yes, we like the Midlands derby.
We do. It's a target of 170 for Worcestershire. They need to get a bit of a move on as well. 145 required from 91 balls. They're 25 for 2 in the Birmingham Bears innings. It was the runs of Sam Hain, 83 from 53 deliveries that did the business, and our friend Carlos Brathwaite.
Remember his name.
He'll be part of our team and coverage during the 100 competition. An unbeaten 52 with 3 big sixes in there as well. So.
You don't know they were big.
Yes, I do.
Do you?
I absolutely do. By definition, a 6 is big, but I know these.
But from Carlos Brathwaite, you kind of get the feeling, aren't they?
Yeah,
he doesn't put it over the boundary by foot.
Half measures aren't really in his repertoire.
No.
So Worcestershire 26 for 2 after 5 in pursuit of 170. Somerset against Glamorgan. Somerset making 181 for 5 from their 20 overs. A little bit of a recovery in there towards the back end. Some good hitting from Tom Lammonby, who made 34, but it was Devon Conway again scoring runs, 70 from 52 at the top of the order. Just such a good signing for Somerset, and what a find he's been over the last couple of years as well. 29 for 1 is the Glamorgan score and response, with Colin Ingram 18 from 16 alongside David Lloyd, not that one. Leicestershire against Nottinghamshire. Leicestershire 61 for 1 in pursuit of 174. Notts were all out for 174 from their 20 overs, with Ben Duckett top scoring. I should say Joe Clark top scoring 57. Ben Duckett made 45, 3 wickets apiece for Naveen Ul-Haq and Colin Ackerman. So Leicestershire in pursuit 61 for 1 after just 5 overs. So going along very nicely indeed. Durham against Lancashire. Durham, that is, 35 without loss after 3 overs. Good start in pursuit of 200, around 200 against Lancashire. And it was a Lancashire innings that was led by Finn Allen, 66 from 28 deliveries. Also half century for Alex Davis. Keaton Jennings made 43. So a big total for Durham to be chasing down. 200 is the target, but in pursuit they are 35 without loss. Going along very nicely. David Beddingham has 27 from just 12 balls. And finally, as the players make their way out, Sussex against Hampshire in between innings. A couple of balls left of the Sussex innings. 181 for 5 is the score. Rashid Khan is batting. We've seen half centuries as well from Luke Wright and Ravi Bapara. So 181 for 5 is the score. 3 balls left of the innings, and that pretty much brings you up to date with everything.
You're a top man.
You can follow all the action, every ball of every game on the BBC Sport website and app. And after all the hitting around the country and this game, I'm going to go for a lie down.
I think you should. I think you've earned it. Thank you very much, Henry Moran. Just to keep you up to date with the tables in the blast: Notts, Yorkshire, Worcestershire, Lancashire, the top 4 in the North Group. Kent, Sussex, Surrey and Gloucestershire in the South Group as well. So 233 to win. Oh, it's a snip. It's an easy number to knock off, I'm absolutely sure. Well, I tell you what, we are in for some seriously good entertainment, I am sure, because Jason Roy and Jonny Bairstow have made their way, Darren Malan have made their way out into the middle. Have Pakistan in their dark green trousers and their lime green tops, and we should have some just fabulous entertainment. This is a seriously good pitch, and England are going to have to play seriously well. Short boundaries, quick outfield, and a packed house at Trent Bridge with glorious weather. What more could you want? Great to have your company on 5 Live Sports Extra. Imad Wasim is probably going to start things off, and until we see James Anderson or Ebony Rainford Brent, I'm going to stay with you. How about that, Atif Nawaz? I'm going to give you some fabulous insight.
What a pleasure. What a pleasure.
Really, you say that through gritted teeth?
No,
I don't know.
Come on, Daggers. Sharing the
James Anderson or me?
microphone.
Come on then. Go on. Oh, he's back.
Don't make me choose.
There you go. I'm making you choose.
Right. Okay. Well,
Anderson's coming in.
There you go. Okay. Well, I didn't have to make the choice. That's on the producer. Both wonderful colleagues. Well, it will be something special if England can pull this off, and we know they've got the firepower to do it. These two batters both have a strike rate, a career strike rate in excess of 140, which is quite remarkable. Now then, Imad, Wasim. In he comes now to Dawid, Malan. Starts with the back of the length delivery. Big swing from Malan. As the ball just misses the outside edge through to the keeper. Immediate intent being shown by England. They're going to have to go from the word go. You can't take your time when you're chasing 2-3-3. I know England like to chase, but scoreboard pressure, well, there's scoreboard pressure, and there's 233 in a T20 international pressure. Imad Wasim just taking his time at the top of his run. And he comes now to Dawid Malan. This time the ball's been chipped uppishly. Has it been taken at mid-off? Shaheen isn't claiming it. He says he's not sure. He's at mid-off. The ball just came to him. He dived ahead of him. It looked like he took it. We're not certain. He's not certain. So we're going to have another look at it. Good sporting behaviour, that. Jimmy Anderson alongside me. Do you always know you've taken it, Jimmy?
Sometimes it can be difficult. You can feel like you get your fingers underneath it, but it can be tricky to know whether any of the balls touch the ground. He didn't look hugely confident, and I think that's why they've gone soft signal not out, because of the lack of confidence from the
third
fielder
umpire to director.
Yeah, Shaheen Afridi.
Yeah.
Not
we
certain.
have an umpire review for fair catch. It's a fair delivery. Have your best angle, please.
He's generally quite an expressionless chap as well, Shaheen Afridi. He doesn't give much away. And the ball's just dipping in front of him. The voice of Alex Wolf there, the third umpire. Hits the ground.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy I've made my decision for the big screen.
Well, the boos ring out around Trent Bridge. To be fair to Shaheen, he didn't quite claim it. Just wanted to have a look. It would have been big for Pakistan to get rid of Dawid Malan early, but it is another dot ball. 2 dot balls in a row to start this innings. Now, England will do well to remember that even Pakistan didn't quite get away to a firing start. They built their innings, didn't hit a single 6 until the 12th over, and then hit 12 of them. In comes Imad Wasim now. He bowls back of a length, driven beautifully by Malan, but only as far as extra cover. They will run through for the single, and England off and running in this chase of 233, 1 for no loss.
Yeah, it's a good start from Imad. He's not a huge spinner of the ball. He's almost like a left-arm seamer. It was quite quick. There was a lot of arm balls with the ball shaping away from the left-hander. He'll do exactly the same here to Jason Roy. He'll look to target the stumps, try and get Jason Roy to play across the line or play a false shot. He does do a fantastic job in this form of the game for Pakistan.
He likes playing here at this ground as well. Of course, won a T20 Blast winners medal last season. Nottinghamshire. Very effective T20 bowler. He plays in leagues around the world. Experienced campaigner. Headband enthusiast. In fact, he's got a sort of Alice band on his head. I'll get your thoughts on that in a minute, Jimmy Anderson. In comes Imad Wasim. Back of a length. Smashed hard by Jason Roy, but only as far as the mid-off fielder, Fakhar Zaman, and there's no run. Have you ever been tempted by one of those Alice bands or headbands?
I can't say I have. Well, I don't want to comment too much on hairstyles because I've had a few bad ones. Never the Alice band. It was a good start from Jason Roy there. It sounded like a clean connection off the bat, straight to the fielder, but might take confidence from the fact he timed it.
Imad Wasim in again. This time, this short. It's been hammered down to long on. They're looking for 2. They are going to come back for it. It's a good piece of running by this England pair. 3 runs off this over so far with 1 ball to come. A lot of bat on that ball as well, Jimmy. As you say, an incredible connection.
Yeah, he's a strong guy as well, Jason Roy. Does hit a clean ball. And good running there from Dawid Malan. I think that's going to be a key as well. We saw Babar, Azam and Rizwan really running well between the wickets early on. They didn't time it very well, so they just made sure they were rotating the strike. England are going to have to do that today.
Imad Wasim in once again, back of a length, swept. It's gone high up in the air, but it's going to go deep of the fielder, and it's going to just trickle into the fine leg boundary for 4. So England's first boundary comes up at the end of the first over. 7 for no loss after 1 over there. Azam Khan does the tidying up. He's a wicketkeeper by trade, but he'll be in the outfield today as Rizwan will be behind the gloves. England 7 for no loss after 1. A lot of attacking intent there, Jimmy Anderson.
Yeah, you can see what Jason Roy's trying to do. They've got a sort of short, fine leg in the circle, a man just behind square in the circle. So Jason Roy's trying to get it over those two fielders. And he probably didn't go exactly where he intended, a bit of top edge on it. But he got enough bat on it to get it over the boundary, or to the boundary, so he'd be happy with that. Decent start from England, I think. Yeah, they'll be relatively happy.
Well, will they be happy to see pace on the ball now as Shaheen Afridi is going to open the bowling from the opposite end with England 7 for no loss. Shaheen has been so impressive over the last 12 months for Pakistan, but hasn't yet been particularly impressive in England this tour for Pakistan. He's got one of the best in the business, Dawid Malan, on strike. What statistics Malan has? Average of 47, strike rate of 140 plus. It's no wonder he became the #1 player in the world in this format. Now then, he's on strike. In comes Shaheen Shah Afridi, and he starts with one down the leg side. And it's so wide, Mohammad Rizwan couldn't get anywhere near it. It's gone away for 5 wides. Shaheen's out of sorts summer in England continues. England will be 12 for no loss.
Yeah, he just normally swings the ball away from the left-hander. That one just got the wrong side of it, meant it went sort of swung the other way almost and went down the leg side. Not the start you want as a fast bowler.
England will take all these bonus runs. It is a small ground. They'll back themselves to get this, but bonus runs always help. 12 runs now to the score. In comes Shaheen. He bowls a 4. The quick delivery. There's a big appeal for LBW. The umpire is unmoved. I don't think Pakistan are going to review that. It did look like it was sliding down from our vantage point here at the ground.
Good ball though from Shaheen. That one moved back in towards the left-hander again. Good pace, just over 90 miles an hour. It was going down, missing leg stump, but good promising signs there after a wayward first ball.
As the body language of these Pakistani players looks a lot more positive today. They looked a bit lethargic in the previous 3 games, even when they were defending 330. Edgbaston, different team today. In comes Shaheen now, quick and fast, and beats the outside edge. With Dawid Malan's bat through to the keeper. He had a little tickle at that, did Malan, didn't quite get anything on it. Even Babar Azam seems more animated than I've ever really seen him. He's always a bit of a passive figure in the field, but there's a little bit of Eoin Morgan about him today.
Yeah, he looks up for this. Really wants to get the first win of the tour. Yeah, and as you would expect from a captain, he's played a good knock there as well. He does look very up for this.
12 for no loss, England after 1.2. In comes Shaheen now. Short outside the off stump. It's been hit right back to Shaheen. He's taken a stunning catch and is followed through. England have Malan. Gone. He's back in the hut. Pakistan have their first wicket. England 12 for 1 after 1.3.
Yeah, this looks like a great catch. Never easy, a low caught and bowled chance when you're following through. The mistimed cut shot from Malan. It's going low to Shaheen's right, and it's a great catch. Look, one-handed there. He's gone with 2 hands, but ends up taking it just in his right hand. And yeah, Pakistan would be delighted to see the back of Dawid Malan.
His body was contorted into a very strange shape. He's a tall man. It's like 6'6" Shaheen Afridi, so he was in all sorts of gymnastic shape there. I hope he's okay. He's just having a little look at the Pakistani team physio, because he did have to bend a long way. His head was in a rather unique situation, almost at a little forward roll. It's a big wicket for Pakistan, but as we keep saying about this England lineup, it does not quit. It goes all the way down. It can all bat. Eoin Morgan's due to come in at 6. You've still got Moeen Ali to come. And the new man to the crease is one that has kept cricket ball manufacturers in business by decimating balls across the world. It's Jonny Bairstow. There's going to be a slight delay here as Shaheen is just getting his hand taped up. It's always tricky, isn't it? Just tumbling in your follow through there, Jimmy.
Yeah, it looked like he sort of as he caught it, he grazed his hand on the wicket. Nothing too serious though. I think, you know, it was a clean catch. I don't think he's hurt his finger too badly. It's just maybe a sort of graze on the back of his hand from the hard surface.
He's taped up and ready to go now. As Jonny Bairstow is doing a little bit of gardening on the pitch, tapping it in a little bit, taking in the surroundings. Everybody here knows what Jonny Bairstow can do. Can he do something special for England today? It's Shaheen Afridi building up ahead of steam. He comes in full ball. It's been driven beautifully by Jonny Bairstow, but only as far as extra cover, and there is no run. So after those 5 wides on the first ball, Jimmy Anderson, Shaheen Afridi's come back very strong. Dot, dot, wicket, dot. That's what you want after 5 wides, isn't it?
He's built up ahead of steam as well. That 93 miles an hour, that last ball, so he's charging in, really trying to put some pressure on Jonny Bairstow early on in his innings. Just what Babar Azam would want from his opening bowler.
I remember speaking to Shaheen Afridi, asking him about his cricketing heroes. He said, my brother, Riaz Afridi, who also played Test cricket for Pakistan. Not for very long, but he did. Afridi in now. The ball just takes the outside edge. It's been caught by Rizwan. There's a big appeal. They're celebrating. It's a celeb appeal. The umpire's unmoved. Babar Azam talking to his fielders. He's consulting with Rizwan. Do they want to review this? They've celebrated like it was a wicket. There's 4 seconds to go. They better decide quickly. Well, time's run out. No review from Pakistan. Mohammad Hafeez is beside himself. He's very angry with Rizwan because he celebrated like that was a wicket. It looked like it took the outside edge. If we take another look at it, it's a great length delivery. It misses the outside edge by a whisker. Rizwan with some theatrics.
Yeah, he's just seen ultra edge now, and he has missed it. He hasn't got an edge. But the way Rizwan threw the ball up there, sort of threw it up and then forgot about it. Didn't take the catch as it was coming down. He was that confident that he'd hit it. But then they didn't review it, so it was strange.
Well, 12 for 1, the score remains. 1 ball to come in an eventful second over. In comes Afridi, short ball to Bairstow, who pulls behind square, and that's going to be Jonny Bairstow's first boundary. He's off and running. England 16 for 1 after 2 overs.
Yeah, good shot from Jonny Bairstow. It's a decent short ball from Shaheen. Jonny Bairstow manages to get on top of it, rolls his wrists, keeps it down, and finds the gap behind square leg, and a good start to his innings after a couple of shaky balls just to start with. That'll calm the nerves and gets him off and running.
Yeah, mixed bag over that from Shaheen. Like, started with that wide down leg side, then hit a beautiful length, takes a stunning catch in his follow through, and serves up a long hop basically. And last ball, Imad Wasim to continue. Pakistan mixing up their pace. You got the 90 miles an hour plus Shaheen Afridi one end, and then sort of flat spin of Imad Wasim the other end. They're enjoying themselves today, Pakistan. Imad Wasim having a good laugh, smiling, looking around, taking in his field. He's got Jason Roy on strike. Roy's got 6 of 3 deliveries so far. Imad Wasim in now, back of a length. Roy smashed that down the ground, flat as you like, right beneath us here in the media centre for 6. That's what Jason Roy can do. He can hit the ball hard, and that was straight as an arrow. England 22 for 1.
Yeah, it's dismissive from Jason Roy. He's not advanced down the pitch. He's just stayed in his crease. He got the length that he wanted from Imad. There's no spin on it whatsoever. It's right in the slot where he'd want it, and a real clean connection, which you'd associate with Jason Roy. It's gone gun barrel straight down the ground. Yeah, great shot.
Directly beneath us. Incredible vantage point here at Trent Bridge, right behind the bowler's arm. Now, Imad Wasim just complaining about the shape of the ball there, and the umpires are going to take it and have a little look at it. They're going to put it through those handcuff thingies.
I think it's got a scuff. It looked like there was some leather that had come up, so it must have hit the stairs or something in the stand. And looks like, yeah, got a big scuff on it, so they're looking to change it.
And the big box of balls comes out. They'll pick out something as close as possible to a 2.1 over ball, a 22 for 1 ball. I mean, I don't know how you mark those, but I'll have a little look with all the umpires, and the players will take a little break. One of the things that's worried me about this Pakistan team is the body language, Jimmy Anderson. I mean, even now, you'd still say they're on top in this game, very much so, with that score and the early wicket as well. Just look a little bit tense. There's a few hands on hips, a few hands behind backs. It doesn't necessarily have that dynamism you expect from a team in this scenario.
Yeah, but you mentioned the Edgbaston game. That might just be on their minds a little bit. You know, they had a great score on the board, didn't quite see that home. And tonight, they know it's a great pitch. They've all, you know, the guys that have batted on that surface will know how good a pitch it is. They'll know how good England's batting attack is. So it's it could be a nervy one for them, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they failed to defend 331 at Edgbaston, Pakistan, as Imad Wasim comes in again short this time and pulled, mistimed really, by Jason Roy. Imad fields and there's no run. Yes, of course, Pakistan got 331 for 9 in their 50 overs at Edgbaston. England chased it down with 2 overs to spare in the end, off the back of that majestic century from James Vince and Lewis Gregory with a 77 as well. Imad Wasim in again. This is another short ball. It's been punched down the ground by Jason Roy for a single. Pakistan won't mind the singles too much. It's those big boy shots they'll be worried about. 23 for 1 England after 2.3. Pleasingly symmetrical. And then Jonny Bairstow on strike. He's got 4 from 3 so far. This is his first real look at Imad Wasim. I wonder if he's going to go after him. Imad in now, back of a length. Jonny Bairstow happy to just push this to extra cover. They run through for a quick single. There's a shot at the stumps of the non-striker's end. Doesn't connect. Mohammad Hafeez backs up. Single taken, 24 for 1. You sense this is just sort of the calm before the storm, don't you, Jimmy Anderson, with England chasing this big score. Big shots are coming.
Yeah, I think they know, though. They know how to chase big scores, this England batting lineup. So I think they'll try and be as calm as possible in the early stages.
Imad Wasim in once again. This time there's a big shot from Jason Roy. Great connection, straight down the ground. Look out in the crowd. Well, that's what we talked about. We talked about the calm. Well, that was very much the storm. Jason Roy on to 19 now. England 30 for 1.
Yeah, it's carbon copy of the first 6 of the over. This one going a little bit further, making it to the second tier rather than the first. Another great shot from Jason Roy.
Wasim in now once again. Another big shot from Jason Roy. This time into the leg side is huge. It's gone a long way. The crowd are dancing in delight. That is vintage Jason Roy. He got a hold of that properly after 3 overs. England chasing this down well. 36 for 1. Jason Roy on to 25 from 8. Imad Wasim's gone for 27 from his 2. Pakistan going to have to take a minute and think about this.
Yeah, great start for England. And signs of this pitch being an excellent one. And there's no signs of deterioration, no spin. Jason Roy just being able to hit through the line of the ball. He's just such an... I love watching him, and I love, in the same way I love watching Babar Azam, you know, but they're so different. Babar Azam has got that elegance, that sort of majesty where the ball just sort of, it doesn't make a noise off the bat, it just sort of melts onto his bat, whereas Jason Roy is a little bit more brutal, but equally as entertaining.
At my old cricket club, Southampton, we'd call him a ball beater. He hits the ball hard. Very hard. The crowd are loving this. Shaheen Afridi now into Bairstow's fall. It's been smashed by Bairstow. It's gone over long on. It's out of the ground. Trent Bridge is just not big enough for Jonny Bairstow. What a shot that was. 42 for 1 England after 3.1 overs. Game on.
Yeah, Jonny Bairstow getting in on the act now. Sort of almost as if he knew where that ball was going to be. It's a good length ball from Shaheen, but it's almost in Jonny Bairstow's slot. It's like, it's not a bad ball. Probably going to hit the top of middle stump, but as I said, Jonny Bairstow almost read it, and he was prepared. And he knew exactly where he wanted to hit it. Connected unbelievably well with it. Made an amazing noise off the bat. And sailed into the crowd.
There's an amazing noise coming from the crowd right now as well. 42 for 1 England. In comes Shaheen. Low full toss this time and just driven to mid-off. Another moment of calm amidst this madness. We heard the Pakistani fans in full flow when Pakistan were batting, and now the England fans getting their opportunity. I don't think this is going to be... This isn't going to be one of those games that just sort of fades away. This England team can take it all the way, and they can... I mean, I kind of joked with you, Jimmy, earlier that they could do it with a couple of overs to spare, but they really can.
Definitely. If they've got the power, the ability, the skill to do it, it's just a case of someone standing up and, you know, building that partnership like Babar and Rizwan did.
Jonny Bairstow on strike. In comes Shaheen. This is short. It's been pulled up in the air. There's a fielder underneath it. Will it be taken? Yes, it will. Imad Wasim with the catch. Jonny Bairstow has to go. Shaheen has his man. England 42 for 2. Right back on the back foot again.
Yeah, it's a good ball. Bit of extra pace on that one. And Jonny Bairstow looking to... He's played a big pull shot, looking to hit the leg side boundary, which is one of the shorter ones on the ground, but only gets the top edge. A simple catch for him. Yeah, Jonny Bairstow, someone who England would have hoped to get himself in and get, you know, play that big innings that they need if they're going to get close to this score.
Well, he hit that phenomenal 6 over long on, nearly out of the ground at Trent Bridge into the top tier of the stand, and he looked like he could take the game away from Pakistan very quickly. Shaheen with a great display of bowling. He's done so well in the last 12 months for Pakistan. Now then, that brings to the crease one of the most exciting batters in England, Moeen Ali. Strike rate of 133, a best of 75 against Australia. I think they'll love to see Moeen Ali get some runs here today. England doesn't get too many opportunities these days with that stacked England lineup.
There's not many better batsmen to watch, I don't think, than Moeen Ali. He's so elegant when he gets going. Such a great timer of the ball.
He can do it all, can't he? He can time the ball, he can smash the ball, he can use finesse. Great player to watch. Nice bright orange shoes as well. He's at the non-strikers end. Shaheen with his tail up. He's got Jason Roy to deal with now. 42 for 2 after 3.3 overs. In comes Shaheen. It's a good length ball. Jason Roy just pushes it into the covers. They run through for a quick single. There's a shy at the non-strikers end. But England comfortably home. 43 for 2 now. That's a quick ball from Shaheen as well. He's really ramping up the pace. 91.4 miles per hour, not kilometers, gosh.
Yeah, he's bowling well. He's just hitting a decent length as well. He's not just bowling quick. It's not all about just bowling with pace. You've got to be able to hit the right areas, try and make it difficult for the batters to score runs, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yes, now then, Moeen Ali on strike. He's got a determined look on his face. Probably feels like Russell Crowe from Gladiator right now. In Nottingham, it really is an extraordinary atmosphere as the sun begins to fade and the floodlights illuminate this ground. Still clear skies. Extraordinary atmosphere. A slip in place. In comes Shaheen Afridi. He bowls outside off. It's been pushed off the face of the bat by Moeen Ali down to third for a single. 44 for 2 now. Still going at well over 10 and over, England. 1 ball to come in the 4th. Just keeping it going once that power play is over.
Yeah, sensible from Moeen Ali there, just rotating the strike, getting Jason Roy back on strike. And I think in this form of the game, you've got to pick your bowlers as well. And Shaheen's bowling well here. He's bowling quick, he's bowling accurately. It might be a case of just being cautious against him and maybe trying to look to score against some of the other bowlers later on in the innings.
Shaheen with the final delivery of a second over. In he comes now. It's a good length ball. It's been smashed through the covers by Jason Roy all the way along the ground. Jason Roy's not going anywhere. He's got 30 now off 10 balls. England 48 for 2 after 4 overs. Staying with the rate.
Yeah, just as I big Shaheen up, he bowls a wide half volley to Jason Roy, who crunches it through extra cover. Shaheen giving a bit of chirp as well, not happy with that. I think more frustrated with himself and the ball that he bowled rather than the shot that Jason Roy played.
Now there's going to be a change in bowling. Imad Wasim's bowled 2 overs so far. Jason Roy got the measure of him very quickly, hit those 2 huge sixes down the ground in the previous over. So Babar Azam has opted for pace again. We're getting the young and exciting Mohammad Hasnan into the attack. He's only played 15 matches in international cricket. I say only. For a Pakistani player, it's not that many. They play a lot of T20s, remember, an average of 30. He's only 21 years of age. In comes Hasnan to Moeen Ali, back of a length, nearly gets the outside edge, as that ball just leaves Moeen Ali through to the keeper, and there is no run.
Yeah, nice start that. Just a little bit of sort of angle across the left-hander. Moeen Ali looking to play a drive through the covers and just not quite there for it. A good length ball, just beats the outside edge.
He's not had a chance to put on a Pakistan shirt for a while. Mohammad Hasnan, he's been with the squad for a long time. A lot of these players have just been in bio bubble after bio bubble after bio bubble without getting a run. Well, he's getting a run today. In he comes. It's a hard ball. He's been smashed. Not quite timed by Moeen Ali. He goes down the ground to mid-on with Fields, and there is no run. Came hard and fast off the bat, but not quite where Moeen Ali wanted it.
No, he's got to try and, I don't know, a club rather than the elegant sort of shot you'd expect from Moeen Ali. He's gone to try and just, yeah, hammer it down the ground. It didn't quite connect properly.
Well, there's a theatrical look about him right now, Moeen Ali. As he stands and awaits Mohammad Hasnan. It's a short. Moeen Ali's gone after it. It's gone high up in the air on the leg side. Will a fielder get underneath it? He will! It's a stunning catch. He's fallen into the arms of his teammate. Rauf with the catch. He clashes into Sohaib Maqsood. It was almost a scene out of a romantic comedy. Well, the end result is Moeen Ali has gone for one. England under pressure now, 48 for 3. Pakistan on top here at Trent Bridge.
Yeah, it's a great catch, but I think Moeen Ali will be disappointed with that. It's a back of a length ball. He's just trying to help it on its way. He's gone up with the shot, the pull shot, trying to hit it for 6. An amazing sort of, it's hard to describe what just happened there. He's sort of, it's a diving catch, and the fielder coming in from the square leg boundary has sort of slipped, ended up on his back, and the fielder that took the catch, the diving catch, has landed on top of him.
Mate, he's just kind of cradled him. It's like, it was like a scene out of Titanic.
Very sweet.
Yeah, so Sohaib Maqsood was DiCaprio, and Rauf was Kate Winslet. There you go. Painted you a picture. 48 for 3, England, after 4.3 overs. And this brings Liam Livingstone to the crease. Well, there's challenges, and there's this. The target, a mammoth 233. Remember, it is a small ground. England will still back themselves. They bat very low down. Still got Eoin Morgan to come. Tom Curran to come.
Lewis
Gregory to come. Fresh off that 77 at Edgbaston. So, don't count them out just yet. 48 for 3. Mohammad Hasnan will be pleased on his return to the Pakistan side to take a wicket. He's at the top of his run. He can't wait to bowl. Jason Roy just doing the right thing, keeping him waiting, just trying to break up the bowler's rhythm a little bit. Now then, he finally takes his guard and awaits as Mohammad Hasnan runs in. He bowls a back of a length ball. It's just been pushed to mid-on for a single. Another little moment of calm here. Jason Roy's got 31 off 11 now. He might have to get 131 to get England home today. 49 for 3. 2 balls to come in the 5th over. Really was a stunning catch. He kind of... I take that back, Jimmy. That previous catch, it wasn't so much a romantic comedy as it was a WWE move. It was like Bill Goldberg spearing Brock Lesnar. There's a reference. Mohammad Hasnan now running in for the penultimate ball of the 5th over. Back of a length again, punched off the back foot by Liam Livingstone. Good looking shot that, but no run. Another dot ball.
Yeah, great opportunity for Liam Livingstone here. Normally opens the batting for Lancashire and most of the franchise teams that he plays for. He is an opener in this form of the game, but coming in at 5, but it's still inside the power play, so he's still got scoring options, scoring opportunities, and it's a great opportunity here for him to show what he can do.
Hasnan just pulls out of his run there. Theatrical boos from the crowd. Like something's gone in his eye. I tell you what, Mohammad Hasnan just pointed to his eye. Shaheen went over and just very delicately just pulled something out of his eye for him. They're very close. I suppose you get very close when you're in bio bubbles all the time.
Definitely.
Now then, Hasnan comes in and bowls back of a length. Pushed off the back foot by Liam Livingstone. He's off the mark with a single down to deep third. Jimmy Anderson, you're going to be replaced in a second by Ebony Rainford-Brent. And I'm going to be replaced by Charles Dagnall. But just tell me what you've made of this start. 5 overs in, 50 for 3. How are England looking so far?
Yeah, I think they'll be disappointed to have lost 3 wickets in the power play. We saw that Pakistan didn't get off to a flyer in their innings. They took their time. They didn't lose a wicket in the power play, and then they built from there. They gathered momentum and really built into the innings. And I think England will be disappointed. They have got batting to come. They do have a reasonably deep batting order. I think they'll be disappointed with those 3 wickets. So there's a lot on Liam Livingstone and Jason Roy here to try and build a partnership, keep this run rate as high as they can. It's at 10s at the minute, which is pretty good. But they need to build a partnership here for England.
It's been utter madness. It really has. We've seen everything in these first 5 overs. England 50 for 3. Livingstone 1 from 2. Roy 31 from just 11 balls. Haris Rauf into the attack from the pavilion end as the artificial light takes over from the natural light. His first delivery is whipped through mid-wicket, and it's a horrible piece of misfielding at mid-wicket by Khan, who lets not beat around the bush. Azam Khan is a little portly. He just failed to get down. It was awkward, though. It was going over those wicket ends and the bobbly, and failed to hang on. So batsman crossed for a single. 51 for 3. Roy 31 not out from 11 deliveries. Here's Haris Rauf, short, pulled away by Roy. Doesn't get all of it. Out towards deep backward square. Another single taken. 52 for 3. Good evening, Ebony Rainford-Brent again.
Good evening. Jason Roy's having fun, isn't he?
He is.
What I like is actually a lot of his hitting has been down the ground early on in the power play. So low risk, but also destructive hitting. Just feel that 3rd wicket might have changed the tone a little bit, but the run rate is good. And if there is a team that is not going to hold back, it's still going to be England.
Well, I just wonder if Liam Livingstone is going to have a dip in this last over of the power play, but Haris Rauf is only bowling his first over, and this has been a leading edge down towards 3rd man. Is it going to be caught at 6? Liam Livingstone didn't know a great deal about it. He was trying to thump it over mid-wicket. He was a little early on the shot. An edge flying down to Mohammad Hasnan, who he started coming off the boundary edge. I think he misjudged it, went straight through his hands. And a welcome 6 for England, 58 for 3.
Well, Liam Livingstone was trying to place that shot completely other direction. It looked like it burst through his hands, didn't it? So he did the hard work, got the jump in, actually timed the jump okay.
Oh, he's got to catch that.
And he should have held on.
A couple of looks of anguish from Pakistan supporters beyond the boundary rope, just in front of us, down to our right-hand side. Rauf goes for 6. It's 58 for 3, and Livingstone's 8 not out, and he waits, hunched over his bat. He then lofts it, short delivery, pulled by Livingstone down towards deep backward square, 4 runs. Easy. And that was very, very in control by Liam Livingstone. Rolled the wrists and just played it all along the carpet as a duck stands up from the Fox Road stand and applause. All dressed up.
All dressed up.
There he is. Orange legs.
Quite a fresh looking suit there. I think that's come straight from the online store.
It is. It's out the packet, isn't it?
Out the packet.
Is it a duck or a chick?
I think it's a chick.
It is a chick. The coloration should have known better. 62 for 3. Rauf towards us. Short delivery. Oh, it's massive from Liam Livingstone on the roof. Is it? No. It's almost on the roof of the Fox Road stand, but it's gone 5, 6, 7 rows back in the second tier of the Fox Road stand. Short, pulled away. Easy 6 for a player of Livingstone's quality. England making use of this power play 68 for 3, Livingston to 18.
That was humongous, wasn't it? Just picked it up of length, saw it so early. And what I like about this modern-day England team, they are not fussed at all if they lose wickets. If the ball is in their arc, it is going out of the park.
It's very good.
Hey. Happened last minute as well.
It's very good. Should have a groove to that one as well, shouldn't it? Or just stand with your arms folded after saying it. Now the cheering starts. Harris Rauf towards us once more. Low full toss and half an appeal for LBW is turned down by umpire Saggers. They trot through for a single to short fine where Imad Wasim does the fielding, and a single to conclude the over. So a good power play in parts for England. Obviously the 3 wickets down is not what they would want. The run rate, however, more than enough.
Massively, yeah. You look at where Pakistan were, they were going at sort of 8 or 9 in the power play. England are going at nearly 12s in the power play and pushing 70. That's some serious hitting. And what I like, you know, one thing you have to give them credit for, they don't sort of settle in and try and nudge it around just because they've lost a couple of wickets. Actually, it's like, let's keep going. This is the brand and style we're going to play. It's a good track, and we believe we can chase this down. So it'll be a good task, a good challenge ahead, but the way that we're seeing Livingston and Roy strike the ball at the moment, it's very much on the cards that they could.
Here's a question for you. What would you rather be, 50 for none or 69 for 3?
I think I'd actually take 50 for none, because I think at the back end when wickets can come, change-ups of the ball, that sort of stuff, it's nice having wickets in the tank.
Shadab is coming on. It's an interesting one, actually, I think.
Yeah. What would you take?
I'm probably with you.
Yeah.
Here's Shadab, the leg spinner. He skips in and gets walloped for 6. Don't bother running. That sat up for Liam Livingstone as though all of his birthdays had come at once. And he just smokes it into the leg side, and all the fielder at deep mid-wicket could do was watch it sail over his head.
Yeah, he tried to bowl the googly, so he was looking to bowl out the back of the hand, but it just kind of came out completely wrong and just straight into the surface, and it was buffet bowling. Help yourself.
Don't bowl there. 75 for 3.
How quick is his feet, though? I love that when he saw it, just rock back.
And they've got such quick hands as well. Much like when you see, we've just seen Wimbledon, you went. But the speed of the racket speed and the hand speed of the top players, it's much like that. Here's Shadab, bowls down the leg side, it's 6 more. Just keep bowling halfway down to Liam Livingstone, and he's going to help himself to 3 runs. It was this time a leg break. It was almost the same shot, almost, but went a bit squarer. But it's still just as big as he wallops a 6 to the the Smith-Cooper stand. The new one to our right-hand side. Two balls, 2 sixes, 81 for 3 England, and Livingstone has caught Roy up. He's 31 off 9. Roy's just there, 32 off 12.
Yeah, come on, mate, give me some ball strike. But between these two, this could be an exciting spell of batting. Wicket is sitting up.
Oh, what do you bowl if you're Shadab now?
Land it, just land it.
Number 7 on his back, he skips away. It's Fuller, and this has been hammered down the ground. Goodness me, that's been struck so cleanly as well. But it's out to Shaheen Afridi, out at long on, and Livingstone off strike can take a moment just to have a breath. He's 32 from 10. Roy positively slow in comparison. He's 32 off 12. Here's Shadab. Tossed up. Oh, that's the leading edge from Roy. Is he going to get caught? He should do. Babar Azam, the captain, takes the catch in extra cover. Those 13 runs off the first 3 deliveries, Pakistan don't care because they've seen the back of Jason Roy. His 13th delivery has been just nudged up in the air off a leading edge. Babar takes the simplest of catches. England's run rate is good. The wicket rate, not good. 82 for 4.
Well, he's furious with himself. It was actually the one that just kind of continued on. He was attempting the googly, but it kind of just skidded on, and Jason Roy assumed there's going to be a bit more movement off the surface and ended up skewing that outside edge. It's the way England play. They're not going to mess about. They're going to keep trying to push the score. Comfortable catch in the end. And well done to Shadab, who took a bit of punishment and still was comfortable just getting that one out of the hand, trying to tempt the big shot, and it paid off.
Wow. Here comes the captain. Eoin Morgan, he walks to the crease looking so unflustered. And I can lip read his words to Liam Livingstone. He just came out and went, "Hello, Liam, how are you?" That's exactly what he's just said. Well, his strike rate is 140. His average is just under 30. He's played 106 matches. And now he needs to control the innings. I think he'll allow Liam Livingstone to continue in the manner that he's played. But he's got to be there at over 20, you fancy, if England are to knock this gargantuan total off. Shadab. Away from us. Batsman crossed whilst the ball was in the air, and Livingstone gets a full delivery, which he plays down towards long on with a bit of a flourish of the bat. Shaheen, the fielder, a single taken, 83 for 4.
Still a lot of runs to get. As much as England are flying 83 for 4, you just think how many runs in T20. They got another 150-ish?
Exactly 150.
Yeah, there you go. To get, I mean, that's a lot of runs, isn't it? And you're 4 wickets down. I think Eoin Morgan is going to play that sort of hold things together role and take smart boundary options rather than the attack we've seen from Roy.
Slip in place for Morgan, who goes back to a full delivery, and he just allows the ball to slide off the face of the bat to short third man, and there is no run. So he negotiates his first ball okay, and England 83 for 4. 7 overs gone. It might be worth catching the highlights tonight with Ebony Rainford Brent and James Anderson. 11:05 on the BBC, because are you going to have enough space? The highlights could be like 3.5 hours long. We've seen that many sixes, fours and wickets. Whoever's editing that
has got some work to do.
Get some caffeine down here. And
they're going to have to get in the catch, the catch that we just saw where he almost headbutted his teammate. There's a lot to get in. Some serious ball striking. What's good, I think, for the series is that Pakistan have warmed up. They did it in the third ODI. Now if they start to push England, this becomes genuine pressure and what they need building up to the World T20 to understand their side and how they respond.
Hasnain back into the attack. His first over conceded just 2 runs and took 1 wicket down the leg side, his first delivery, and signalled so by umpire Saggers. Really like Hasnain's action. Only a young man, 86 miles an hour, but he's tall, wiry, and he's got a lovely extension in his action where he just opens himself up and then hurls the ball down with a lot of shoulder power. He's built well for a fast bowler. Lovely rhythmical run-up as well. Towards us he comes, short and wide and cut and 4. Easy for Liam Livingstone. Again, it's anything short should get the treatment, but when you add width to it, then just turn back on your heel and get back to your mark, because you know where it's ending up.
I love that Liam Livingstone, there's no holding back in that shot. It got a little bit big on him actually, and he just kept going with it. The connection and the speed to just get a little bit of elevation up over the backward point. He's on a mission here.
37 from 12 deliveries. Played 5 T20 internationals, highest score of 29 not out. He's already beaten it. Hasnain bowls, and this has been carved away. Has it got enough to go for 4? It's brilliantly fielded out on the boundary edge, just trying to see who it is out there. I think it's Harris Rauf, and he flings himself to his left-hand side, extends his body, full stretch to stop the ball going for 4. They still managed to pick up 2. Livingstone to 39, England 90 for 4. So yeah, his highest score was 29 not out in T20 internationals, and he's easily beaten that in the space of, well, about 15 minutes.
Yeah, 2 or 3 more balls and he could make a nice little milestone.
Hasnain peers at the ball as he runs towards us, passed on by Saggers, and this is a drive with a thickish edge going down to third man. Fielded down there by Azam Khan. Single taken, so Morgan to 40. Livingstone to 40, and Morgan is now on strike, marking his guard. It's a beautiful evening. We're starting to see some of the purples and the pinks and the light greys of the few clouds that are still hovering over above us. The majority is now a very, very light shade of blue. You can see the shadows splaying forth from the feet of the fielders out there from the floodlights, shaped like a lollipop, as a short delivery from Hasan is guided to backward point by Eoin Morgan, and there is no run. Great atmosphere at Trent Bridge. Wonderful place for international cricket and T20 cricket especially. I just wonder though, these 3 T20s at Trent Bridge, Headingley and Old Trafford, might be a good time for a hamstring strain if you're a bowler, because they're
coming at you.
Quick scoring grounds. Hasan over the wicket to Morgan, who tries to late cut this, and he gets a bottom edge onto, or going towards the stumps, but it's actually fielded by the live wire Mohammad Rizwan behind the stumps. Tell you what, Hasan has bowled very well here. 1.5 overs. He's 1 for 10 so far. And considering the rate that others have been going, he's doing a sterling job for his captain Babar Azam.
He gets it through nicely, doesn't he? He's just sort of that sort of pace that kissed the surface and keeps coming at you. Young. They always seem to produce high-quality bowlers from Pakistan. Yeah. Good pace, good build.
Final ball of his second over comes in, and Morgan just tucks this off his hip. I think it might be a bit of thigh pad. It trickles to Azam Khan down at fine leg. Has he got any bat on it? No. Yes. No signal from umpire Saggers, so he has got a little bit of bat. And Morgan is off the mark. 92 for 4, 8 overs gone. Hope you're enjoying the coverage here from Trent Bridge. Next game Sunday afternoon at Headingley, and then we finish things off in England's white ball summer at Old Trafford on Tuesday evening. We've got some jockeys in, dressed in their silks. Oh, we've got some brides as well. They're fairly hairy brides. Yeah. One's got a goatee, one's got a full beard. One's got a pair of Harry Potter glasses on as well. Why not? Get dressed up for the T20.
They got lucky with the weather. They can let it all hang out. So it's warm. Sorry, but they are.
Let's hope not all. Because Shadab starts again, and this gets worked through the leg side by Eoin Morgan. And he'll pick up a single through mid-wicket. 93 for 4. England, this the 9th over, 140 runs to win. Speaking of which, I went to loo just before, saw a gentleman in a kilt.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. It's the perfect day for a kilt, I fancy.
It's the weather for it. I think this might be one of the best days I've seen in this English summer, so this feels perfect. The crowds are back.
I think it's going to get warmer this weekend.
Is it?
Apparently so. You were calling for that, Ebony Wayne, for Brent, as Liam Livingstone gets a full delivery, which he clubs down the ground for 6. Hardly any foot movement. It was tossed up by Shadab Khan, and I think the moment he left his hand, he wished he could chase after it and get it back, because that was 6. A flat skimming straight 6 from Livingstone. 99 for 4, and Livingstone's 46 not out.
What's so good is just how late he makes the decision there.
Next delivery just gets chopped down on.
Yeah, what's interesting about that is he looked like he had a premeditated shot, then saw the ball, readjusted, and then just had so much time. He's just got this ability to generate pace and power. And he also uses that bottom hand very wisely, a bit like Buttler can create things.
Shut up. Tosses one up. Livingstone goes for a slog sweep. He's not got all of it, but it might go for 4. Yes, he does. And what a 50 that is. Wonderful knock from Liam Livingstone. His first T20 international 50. It also brings up the England 100. 103 for 4. And it's the fastest international T20 50 for England. What a moment for him. 17 balls it's taken him. An incredible knock. There has to be much more in the context of the game for Liam Livingstone and England. Incredible half-century from Livingstone. He gets another full delivery, which he does down the ground for 6 more. And he's hit one of those discs, one of those sponsored discs. It's skimmed off there, and it says 6 and win. If you hit one of those discs, something happens.
Well, someone's getting some money from somewhere. Cash in. He is absolutely nailed that. What outstanding striking. Let's have a look.
It has.
It hits right in the middle of it.
In the target zone.
Like a bullseye.
A cinch, oh, sorry, and other car companies are available, but a cinch 6 has been hit. What's he won?
Who makes some money?
Has he won a car? Shadab bowls, and this has been carved away through the offside for a single, or it should be a single, and will be. And Livingston moves to 57 not out, 110 for 4 at the end of the 9th over. So what's he won?
I don't know. I want to know. Is it something? He's got to win something for the crowd. He can't win himself a car, can he? That's no good.
Who's the lad who does the adverts with the white teeth? Rylan?
I mean, there's a lot of people with white teeth.
Rylan, that's his name. Maybe a night out with Rylan.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Oh, yeah, giggle that.
This is outstanding striking, isn't it, Daggers? I'm just thinking to the World T20 in a few months' time. If you want to sneak your name on that team sheet and in that squad.
Well, he's going the right way about it, isn't he? And due to the nature, obviously, we're going to see very different pitches in the UAE. They're going to be a lot slower at Sharjah, Dubai International Stadium, the academy ground in Oman, and also Abu Dhabi as well. It's going to be a lot slower, but you've got to be able to power hit on slow pitches. Now, okay, this is a quicker pitch and it's going through nicer, but I think that's what England are looking for. People who can clear the boundary on surfaces and against spinners.
It's been the biggest challenge for Malan, hasn't it? Is not his quality as a player.
Imad Wasim is back, the left-arm spinner, and his first delivery gets carved for 4. What a shot that is from Liam Livingstone. It looked as innocuous a back foot punch as you could wish to see, but
help support Liam Livingstone to overtake that.
In comes Imad Wasim now, back of a length, and a forward defensive shot from Lewis Gregory, which was actually quite a nice looking shot, but just so against the run of play, I can't quite process that. 134 for 5. England need 99 from 48 deliveries, 12 overs gone. In any circumstances, 134 for 5 after 12 overs is a very good score. They've got to keep this going, England, if they're to complete this chase. Remember, this is Pakistan's highest ever score in international T20s. Their previous best was 210. It'll be quite ironic if it's not a winning score for Pakistan.
I don't know about you. This feels like my best enjoyment of a game in terms of the crowd and atmosphere. I think it's a mixture of the sun shining, packed house, the fans are loving it, and we're being treated to everything. I mean, we've seen a lot of cricket already this summer, but I'm really soaking up this atmosphere.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. A sea of green and blue and every colour you can imagine here at Trent Bridge. Shadab Khan, the Pakistan vice-captain, back into the attack. He's taken some tap today, 2 overs, 1 for 32. And he comes now to Livingstone, back of a length. Livingstone hammers that ball hard, only as far as the squarish set sweeper, Sohaib Maqsood, for a single. Lots of S's in that sentence, I apologise. 135 for 5.
He did well to get all the 3 S's out.
Yeah. What a game this is. Truly a remarkable occasion. And it's a terrific crowd here. 15,000 strong, 80% capacity in Nottingham.
Just thinking about his options. So there is a release shot up and over extra going with the spin of Shadab Khan.
Who comes in now, full of ball. It's been worked down to the mid-wicket region in between 2 fielders. The batters will want 2. They turn around quickly. The throw comes in, but they make it quickly. Lewis Gregory off the mark now. He's on to 2 not out of 2 deliveries. 137 for 5.
That was a good decision over 2 as well. There, you can see Shaheen Afridi's upset there because he's left-handed and had to almost go across himself. And they saw that quickly and went back for the 2 and switched on.
137 for 5. Now then, Gregory taking his guard. In comes Shadab Khan. Lots of flight given, and the ball just driven aerially, painfully out of the reach of Shadab Khan, just over his head, just lobbed him like a goalkeeper. And they run through for a single. 138 for 5.
Where's he going to go? I think he's looking. Well, they've actually closed the gap a little bit at deep extra cover, so there's more protection.
Shadab in now to Livingstone. Shadab doesn't want to get anywhere near Livingstone. He bowls that wide, too wide. It's been given a wide. Trying to push that ball away from Livingstone. Challenges hitting arc. You can tell this is the strategy from Pakistan. 7th wide given so far as Shadab turns, and he's back in again. Another wide-ish delivery, but it's worked out for Shadab as Livingstone can just hit the ball into the ground, and there is no run. 139 for 5. Livingstone, you feel there's a big swing coming. As in comes Shadab. He bowls wide outside off stump, again turning sharply away, and the umpire extends his arms. Another wide ball. Shadab isn't pleased, but it was well outside the tram lines.
There's a bit of a game going on, isn't there? You know, Liam Livingstone is eyeing up, whacking him over that offside, and he's trying to get it a little bit wider and wider. But that time he definitely passed the blue line.
In comes Shadab once again. A reverse hit attempted and landed by Liam Livingstone. He didn't quite get a hold of it. It dropped to where I guess a short fine leg would be. Anyway, they run through for a single. A lot of effort for 1.
He's hiding it here, isn't he? Shadab is just going wider and wider, and Liam Livingstone decided to go for the reverse and work with that. Didn't quite get hold of it.
It's a very, very exciting game. As in comes Shadab once again. It's a bit fuller, squaring up the batsman who works that down to mid-wicket. They want 2 again this time. They'll settle for the single. And this is all action cricket. Don't forget the second T20 from Headingley. It's just a couple of days away. It's going to be live on BBC One on Sunday at 1:50. Make sure you tune in. If it's anything like this game, it's going to be an absolute classic. 142 for 5. England in pursuit of Pakistan's 232. The sounds of Sweet Caroline filled the stands here at Trent Bridge. the unofficial anthem of English sport this summer, I suppose.
They heard it a few times, football through to the cricket. Still a long summer to go. And they are having an absolute blast at the moment, and so they should. We've been starved of live sport for a long time, and now crowds are living the dream here at Trent Bridge.
And then Mohammad Rizwan back into the attack. 2 overs, 1 for 11 for him so far. He comes into Gregory. It's a good length ball, a bit of away movement as well, but Gregory just works it down to long on. They take a single, 143 for 5 now.
I think Gregory's just thinking now, get Livingston on strike. 90 of 41 balls. And he's just come to the crease. I think it's all about letting Livingston have the centre stage.
Eoin Morgan still looking very relaxed in the dugout. He never really gives too much away. I'd hate to play poker with Eoin Morgan.
Would you? Have you got a poker face?
No, not as good as Eoin Morgan anyway. 143 for 5. 90 required of 41. In comes Rizwan. Yorker length delivery. Dugout down to long on by Liam Livingstone for a single. 90 required now from 41 delivery. In fact, 89 required from 40 deliveries. It's all been very, very tense here. England know they're just a few hits away from just taking some pressure off. Pakistan have strung together a good sequence of deliveries here. And wicket won't hurt either. Heavily rain for Brent. It's just left us momentarily. Jimmy Anderson back alongside me. 144 for 5. As in comes Mohammad Rizwan now to Lewis Gregory. Gregory down the track to scoop this aerially into the mid-wicket region. 2 fielders converge. And great effort in the deep, prevents the boundary. The batters do get back for 2. Some commitment shown in the field from the Pakistanis as well. 87 required now.
I feel like you're still tense.
I could use a good massage right now, I'm not going to lie.
I think this could be close.
Absolutely.
Still, it's a big ask for England. But with Livingston still at the crease, you think they've got an outside chance, I think.
Do you know what it is, Jimmy? I think we're just all getting very used to this England team doing remarkable things over and over again. And you'd be a brave person to put this past them. As in comes Rizwan now to Lewis Gregory. Full ball. Rizwan tries to collect on his follow-through, just gets a hand on it. In the end, they run through for a quick single. There might be overthrows. Nope. The ball whisked away to the man backing up, Azam Khan, at the finish third region. England 147 for 5. Even Shaheen's having a good clap and a laugh at the moment. 86 from 38. I suppose you'd make Pakistan marginal favourites at this point, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'd say they're favourites. It's a huge ask for England, but you know, if they had if there were 2 or 3 down, maybe England would be sort of more in the game. But 5 down, not too much batting to come. You know, you think Pakistan have got this, but you know, I've been really impressed with Rizwan today. I think he's bowled really well. He's got his length's right, speed's good. Made it difficult for England to get him away.
He's got 1 for 16 so far from 2.4 as he comes in and bowls a low full toss to Liam Livingstone, who pounds that into the leg side. There's a diving effort in the deep. It's unsuccessful, so 4 more runs to Lewis Gregory. He moves on to 73 of 31 deliveries. England's 150 comes up, 151 for 5. Well, as I say, don't rule them out just yet. They can do amazing things, this England team. It's captured the imagination of the whole world of cricket. I had a chat yesterday with Shadab Khan, Babar, Azam and Imad, Wasim, and they all talked of their great respect and admiration of this England team. As in comes Rizwan now, back of a length, of under edge from Livingstone. Fine leg is up inside the circle. They run through for a single. 152 for 5. And that is the end of the over. 81 required from 36 balls. And yes, Rizwan back in the team after a long time, impressing.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, just changed his pace that last ball as well, and quite an agricultural shot from Liam Livingstone, which, you know, it's a bit out of character for the innings he's played tonight, but gets away with it. Inside edge for 1, keeps the strike. But yeah, Rizwan been very impressive, as has Shaheen Afridi, and I think when you've got that sort of quality in your bowling attack, being able to call on those two guys. We know Shaheen's going to play a big part at the end of this innings. He could be the difference between Pakistan winning and losing this game.
He's got 2 for 21 from his 2 overs so far, Shaheen Afridi. Sharjeel Khan, very expensive. 1 for 40 for him. Well, there we go. Shaheen Afridi is back into the attack. Babar Azam not taking any chances at all. Gets a strike bowler back in. 152 for 5. England.
I quite like this. Just bringing him back. You could save him for 2 at the death. Bringing him back a little bit earlier, trying to get that wicket and close out this game early, not taking any chances, as you say.
It's unusually proactive for Pakistan, I must say. They sense they've got a chance here to put England on the back foot in a series for a change. Remember, England have been unbeaten in their white ball cricket this summer, registering 5 wins on the bounce against Sri Lanka. They looked poised for a 6th before the rain intervened. Then they won 3 in a row against Pakistan. For the first time, they're staring down the barrel of their first white ball defeat of the English summer in 2021. They need 81 of 36 balls to keep that streak alive. 152 for 5. Shaheen at the top of his run, just taking his time. Livingston, 74 of 32. He's on strike. And he awaits like an action hero in his crease. Shaheen Afridi, in he comes and he bowls. It's a low full toss, big swing from Livingston. He doesn't connect. It's missed out there, Liam Livingston, and he knows it. Another dot ball, 152 for 5.
Yeah, just needs to keep his shape here, Liam Livingston. Last 2 balls, he looks like he's trying to hit it a little bit too hard. Trying to hit the big 6, but just keeps his shape, as he has done so well throughout his 33 ball knock so far. I think that's what England need.
It's been tremendous hitting from Liam Livingston so far. He's shown a great steely determination in this innings. Not been too affected by the wickets falling around him. He's on strike now. Shaheen in once again. It's another low full toss. This one's been carved. It's gone a long way into the covers. It's over the fence. It's a 6 for Liam Livingston. Well, he still believes England have a chance here. 158 for 5. They need 75 from 34 balls. Liam Livingston, 80 of 34 balls, keeping England's hopes alive.
That's an amazing shot. So it is a full toss, but he's still got to be able to... The way he's hit it, he's sort of opened the face up. He knows there's no one down in that region at 3rd man. And round to... There's a man out of deep extra cover, but no one behind square on the offside is on the fence. So it's a free hit pretty much when you get that width and the length. And he just opens the face, tries to go aerial with it. And the connection again means it goes all the way for 6. And he's played a fantastic knock so far. Timed the balls beautifully from ball 1 of his innings.
It's been very impressive as Liam Livingston, as the ball went into the crowd. It's being sanitized again by the umpire. It's been sanitized a lot today, the ball. 158 for 5. Liam Livingston impressing today. 80 off 34. He's on strike. In comes Shaheen. It's a low full toss again. It's been driven only as far as long off. And a single is taken. England 159 for 5. They need 74 more now from 33 deliveries to win this game. Still very much in the balance. You can tell from the demeanor of the Pakistani players. There's still a bit of tension there. They know the job isn't done. That required rate, 13.45. In the modern game, you do see it happen. If it were to happen today, England would break a record. Their own record. So much tension, lots of breaks in between now. The vice-captain Shadab with 2 caps on his head. Looks a bit like a Pakistani Donald Duck. It has a little chat with Shaheen. Goes back down to long on now then. Shaheen is running in towards Lewis Gregory. He bowls another low full toss, another swing from Gregory, another miss from Gregory on the bounce through to Rizwan, and there is no run. A valuable dot ball for Pakistan.
Yeah, he got away with one there. That was a full toss outside off stump. Lewis Gregory knows he's missed out. Just any bat on that could have flown away to the boundary, but he's tried to hit it quite hard through the offside. Maybe done for pace in the end. It was 90.3 miles an hour, so decent pace from Shaheen, as we've seen throughout this innings from him.
It's been very impressive today, Shaheen, showing glimpses of the great skill he's shown over the last 12 months for Pakistan. Now then, Gregory on strike. In comes Shaheen. He bowls back of a length. This one's been smashed high and long. There's a fielder under it. He doesn't quite get there in time. It drops just short of Sohaib Maqsood, sweeping in the covers. England take a single. Gregory survives. 160 for 5. Nerves, Jimmy Anderson. Nerves all over this ground.
Yeah, I do feel for him. If you look just to our right, the opposite end of the ground to Maqsood, there's a floodlight, and it looked like the ball's just gone in the floodlights. Didn't quite see it clearly enough. He's gone to sort of started running in to take the catch, then he's played it safe, took the ball on the bounce and saved the boundary and kept it down to 1 run.
Yes. Well, Liam Livingstone on strike. In comes Shaheen. He bowls a low full toss again. Livingstone middles it, drives down to long on, and a single is taken. Well, this game is set up for a thrilling climax, Jimmy Anderson. It's going to be quite something. England needs 72 to win from 30 balls. If they do it, it'll be their highest ever chase. But Pakistan looking favourites to win their first game on this tour. A few more thoughts from you, and to take you through to the climax of this game, it's going to be Charles Dagnall.
Yeah, you'd have to say Pakistan in the driving seat here. 72 from 5 overs. It's a lot on Liam Livingstone's shoulders here. He's 82 off 36 balls. It's been a fantastic knock. Getting an opportunity in this T20 side. Those opportunities have been quite rare for batters in particular to get into this T20 side. He's been such a successful team in recent times. So he's fortunate to get that chance, and he's taken it with both hands. But now the pressure's on him to try and see this home for England.
Very much so. All the classics are coming out. Bit of hi-ho, silver lining, bit of Jeff Beck. The crowd don't need to be ramped up anymore. They've seen, what, 400 runs already? Or close to it anyway. And the equation for England is it's 72 to win, 30 balls. And I've got my pad out. It's my time. I like to just make sure, even though there's the scoreboard, we've got a television screen in front of us, there's another scoreboard to our left-hand side. I don't trust any of them. So my pad comes out. Tom Curran, we can see just putting a back grip. It's just extending the rubber down the handle of the bat. And here's Haris Rauf into the attack, and he gets edged over the top. Has it gone all the way? No, a couple of bounces and 4. First delivery, it was a length delivery from Haris Rauf. Liam Livingstone swung hard, he didn't connect cleanly. He won't care, he moves to 86 not out. Boundary from the first ball of the over. England 165 for 5. 68 from 29 now.
Yeah, I play a bit of golf for Liam Livingstone, and he does hit a big ball, especially off the tee, and that was the exact swing you'd see on the first tee of the golf course. He's tried to hit that out of Trent Bridge and got lucky.
He's hit a couple close as well, Rauf, and lost his run up a little bit there. You can see it was almost like a triple jumper. One bound was a lot longer than the previous one, so he did the right thing, stopped and made his way back to his mark. Someone is sat down on the stairs, and Liam Livingstone is beckoning that person to move from the stairs. I think the people around them, a gentleman in a grey shirt and a blue pair of shorts, and he sheepishly goes back to the seat that he should have been in the first place. So Rauf towards Livingstone, short, walloped away through the onside. It's just going to bounce before. What a brilliant piece of fielding out on the boundary edge. It's going to be 2 runs. Just trying to see who it is. It might be Maqsood out there, but he flung himself goalkeeper style to his left-hand side, or is it Shahab? Anyway, it's a brilliant diving piece of fielding to save 2 runs. It's Shahab Khan running at full tilt, making sure the ball doesn't cross the boundary. 2 off that delivery, 66 from 28. Livingstone to 88 off 38 deliveries, 167 for 5. Rauf towards us. Yorker delivery is dug out by Livingstone. Might come back for a second here, Lewis Gregory. Yes, he will. Running to the danger end, but knew he had enough time as the ball crept to the 30-yard circle at mid-on. Fakhar Zaman coming in from the boundary edge. And Livingstone just has to take a couple of deep breaths. He moves into the 90s, 64 from 27.
Yeah, great bit of running from Lewis Gregory there. Liam Livingstone digs out the Yorker from Harris and just he cloths it. It doesn't, he's just hit the toe of the bat, so it doesn't go very far down to deep mid on. Lewis Gregory sets off like a hare straight away and gets back comfortably in the end.
England have batting to come. Tom Curran, David Willey. Rauf approaches past umpire Saggers, and this has been walloped away through the onside by Livingston again. I don't think there's two available here, and Livingston has to go scurrying back to the non-striker's end, and Gregory the right call as the ball was hit a little bit more cleanly this time out to Fakhar Zaman, and he was swiftly in from the long on edge. Single taken, 63 runs required off 26 deliveries. Livingston gulping down oxygen at the non-striker's end, leaning on his bat handle. Floodlights beaming down, the last dying embers of light just going from Trent Bridge. Pin droppers. Haris Rauf bowls a low full toss, hit into the leg side by Lewis Gregory. Now there's a single. I thought there might be two. Fakhar Zaman had to go right round himself to pick the ball up, the left-hander, and it is just a single to England. 62 to win off 25 deliveries.
I think that would have been two if Liam Livingstone wasn't blowing as heavily as he has been. He needs a bit of rest. Quite happy to take the strike as well, I think.
I think he is. Batting on and around middle and leg. He waits for Haris Rauf. Scuttles in. This been hit high and long and far and way back it goes into the crowd in the Larwood and Vaux stands. Good job he did steal a strike, and he punches his thigh pad. All of those feelings of, will I get the opportunity, will I get the chance? He's got it here. He's got a chance to see England home. It's 177 for 5, 6 off the final ball. 56 required from 24 delivering, and he's one strike away from 3 figures.
Yeah, brilliant shot. Got the length he would have wanted. It was half volley. Looking for the Yorker was Harris, but he missed it. We've seen every bowler that's missed their Yorker on this pitch has disappeared. Whether it's either a full toss or a half volley, either side of that Yorker length, that block hole length, has disappeared all the way through this match.
Just shows you.
Fine margins, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Game of not inches, but millimetres. So, Livingston's just had a drink brought out to him. England's fastest T20 International 100 was Dawid Malan in Napier 2019. 48 balls it was. And Livingston could theoretically beat it with room to spare. He's 97 off 41, but it's Gregory who's on strike, 10 from 10, and Shadab back into the attack. I'm just looking at your facial expression. I was thinking the same thing. This is a brave move.
Yeah, he's been expensive so far. Gone for 40 off his 3. Picked up a wicket, but very expensive. It feels like a big risk to me.
Shadab's first delivery gets clubbed down the ground by Lewis Gregory. Has he got enough on it? No, it's down the throat of Shaheen. Afridi takes the catch. And it is the end of Lewis Gregory. Just thought he caught it high up on the bat. Another yard or so and it would have evaded the big, tall, fast bowler at long on. But a safe pair of hands. He pouches it, comes in to meet the bowler, Shadab. And the change has worked. And Gregory departs for 10. And England lose their 6th wicket, 177 for 6.
I think he was trying to go a bit squarer than he ended up hitting the ball. He was in the slot, right where he would have wanted it, Lewis Gregory. I think he's gone to hit it wide of mid-on. It's just gripped a touch. It's a leg spinner from Shadab. It's just sort of stuck in the surface, and he's just got the outside half of the bat. So he got a decent piece of it. I think that's sort of spin or holding up in the pitch has just done enough to... So he basically didn't middle it, and it's gone down the throat of deep long on.
Well, David Willey is the new man at the crease, but he's going to be at the non-striker's end. His career strike rate in international T20, 131. But it's Livingston who's got the strike. And you just have a feeling that this could be the over to win or lose this game. Shadab, he's got a deep extra cover, long off, long on, deep mid-wicket, deep backward square. Here's Shadab with Livingston on 97, and he wallops it down the ground, and what a way to bring up 3 figures. Insane striking from Liam Livingston. It's been a scintillating knock. He's shown he can do it for Lancashire. He's had the opportunity to now do it for England. He removes his helmet. He points his back towards the Larwood and Bow stand, showing that new blonde hair of his. He puts his helmet back on, knowing that the job is not done. 103 of 42 deliveries, the fastest ever T20 international century for England. Shahab is in again, and Livingston's going big again. Has he got the legs, or is Afridi underneath it? He takes the catch, and Livingston points his head to the sky, knowing that if it had reached maybe an inch higher on the bat, that would have gone all the way for 6. He won't see it through for England. 7th wicket falls. Livingston's stunning knock comes to an end. Shahab, this over could be the one that seals this game for Pakistan. England 183 for 7. And now 2 new batsmen at the crease. But listen to the crowd rise for Liam Livingstone. All areas of Trent Bridge rise. We've seen one of the great T20 knocks in England colours by Lancashire's captain. He removes himself slowly from the playing surface and out towards where the England players are in the dugout. All of them to a man stood and clapping the Lancashire captain. But now England have it all to do. 183 for 7. 50 runs to win. Tom Curran in with David Willey, but James Anderson, Liam Livingstone has put England in the picture for possibly winning this game.
Yeah, stunning knock, I thought. Just an incredible innings from start to finish.
Shadab's in again, and he stops, so continue please.
Unfortunately, he had to keep going for it, and it was good bowling from Shahab. The ball before has gone for 6. He's tossed that one a little bit wider, making Livingston reach for it, and he couldn't get hold of it.
50 to win. Shahab bowls, and a big swing and a miss by David Willey. And the decision by Babar Azam to bring back Shahab, even though he'd gone for 40 in 3 overs, has paid, well, he's paid him in spades. 3 for 46 now. 2 balls remain of this, the 17th over. 50 runs to win. Willey, no time to play himself in. He's got to swing, and he's got to swing hard. Shahab skips away from us. Short, pulled away, and he has swung, and he has swung hard, and he's swung it all the way over Cow Corner onto an awning that just dons a viewing balcony to our left-hand side between the Fox Road stand and the Redcliffe Road end. And maybe there's hope for England. 44 runs to win, 19 balls in which to do it.
Yeah, brilliant shot from David Willey. Connected brilliantly with a slog sweep. Gets a really good piece of it. It's a big 6 and just what England needed. And as I was saying about Liam Livingstone, had to keep going for it. Once he got to his 100, he had to keep trying to go for the big shots. England are just going to have to keep going here and hope for the best.
44 to win from 19. Shahab bowls wide outside of the off stump, and Willey goes chasing it and then reaches so far. He connects with the ball, and it just trickles back to the bowler, and there is no run. Big grin on David Willey's face. He ended up on all fours after playing the shot. 189 for 7, 44 runs to win from 18 deliveries. Live here on 5 Live Sports Extra. Don't forget, highlights tonight, 11:05. There's plenty to squeeze in. Could be a very long programme. And don't forget the live coverage of the second T20 International. If this is anything to go by, it will be a stonker. At Headingley, on air, 1:50 on BBC One. Game starts at 2:30. You can watch him play highlights as well via the cricket section of the BBC Sport website and the app. Mohammad Hasnain returns. He has been the pick for me of Pakistan's attack. 1 for 21 of 3. Big moment for the youngster. Tom Curran is on strike. He's yet to face a ball. His field is long on. Deep mid-wicket, fine leg, third man, deep cover, mid-off, up inside the circle. Here's Hasnain from the pavilion end, underneath the floodlights. Full delivery gets drilled down the ground by Tom Curran. Slight misfield by Fakhar Zaman at long on, but not bad enough for England to steal a second run. Single taken, 43 from 17.
One thing in England's favour here is we've got two guys at the crease that can clear the ropes. David Willey's batted in the top of the order domestically for a number of years. He's a big hitter. And Tom Curran we've seen do damage certainly in franchise cricket around the world, coming in down the order, clearing the ropes. Particularly, I remember a couple of knocks in the Big Bash where he got his team home
for Perth.
Yeah. So there is a sort of glimmer of hope for England, I think, with these two there.
Pakistan fielders are moving everywhere. Every single fielder is going to a different position. So it's difficult to keep track. There is a deep backward point. Extra cover, mid-off up inside the circle. There's a long on, cow corner, deep backward square. This is the short boundary for the left-hander. As Hasnain comes into Willey, open stance, and he bowls, and this has been hacked away by Willey out towards deep mid-wicket. There won't be two. Just a single on offer. 42 runs to win from 16. The equation for England. It's starting to look a little bit far away, just ebbing away from them.
Well bowled again by Hasnain. He has been certainly the standout bowler in the Pakistan attack tonight. Been very impressed with him. Made the right decisions at the right time, gone for the Yorker when he's needed to, hit back of a length, heavy length when he needed to. Been very impressive.
The voice of James Anderson with us, England's record appearance maker in Test match cricket, record wicket holder as well, as a slowish full toss is an attempted heave by Tom Curran, and now the ball, as the throw comes in at the non-striker's end, he'll only get a single. He didn't time it at all. It went out to extra cover. The shy at the stumps was good and true, and they're going to take a look to see if Tom Curran is going to be run out. Let's have a listen.
Run out, can have your best side on angle, please.
He looks a bit sheepish here. I don't know if he's put his bat down in time.
We'll take a look. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Easy, gone by a foot.
I've made my decision for the big screen.
And Alex Wharf, the third umpire, only needed one look. Tom Curran has been run out. And so he trudges off. Out comes Saqib Mahmood. And now it's all on David Willey. He's been there 4 balls. He scored 7 runs, including that towering 6 over mid-wicket. But Pakistan in the box seat here. And the nail-biting end that we were hoping for doesn't look like it's going to emerge. Now, they're just checking to see if that was a no ball. A full toss over waist height. I think he's safe, and he is. 191 for 8. It's 42 to win from 15 balls. Willey on strike, waits for Hasnain, past umpire Sag as he goes. He tries to ramp him and does successfully. Over the top of short fine leg and down to the boundary for 4. Shuffled across in the crease and just angled the bat well enough to get the elevation required to beat the infield. 195 for 8, and it's 38 to win from 15.
Yeah, really well executed ramp shot from David Willey, showing that he has got quality with the bat. There is a lot of pressure on his shoulders now. Saqib does work hard on his batting, but whether he can clear the ropes too many times, I'm not sure about. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, it's got to be Willey on strike for as much of the, or as many of the 14 balls remaining as possible. He checks the field. It's 38 to win from 14. Hasnain bowls, and it's a full delivery, and it's driven by Willey out to extra cover, and they won't take the single. Now here's a little pickle for Willey. He's got 1 ball left of this Hasnain over. 38 from 13.
Got to be a single for me.
Yeah.
I think keep yourself on strike. Hasnain's bowled very, very well here. Don't take the risk now. Keep the strike for the next over and try and take the next bowler down.
Hasnain has bowled superbly. 1 for 27 in the context. Incredible figures. He bowls, and it's just whipped away by David Willey. They will canter a single. They have taken the advice of James Anderson. And the cheer you hear for is for Azam Khan, who's become a little fan favourite down there by the base of the Radcliffe Road stand. And it's the end of the 18th over. 12 balls remain. 37 runs required. 196 for 8. But Pakistan look as though they are on course for victory in this first T20 international.
Yeah, it'll be an amazing win for England from here. You have to say Pakistan have so far deserved this, or deserved to be in this position where they've got England under the cosh. So credit to them, the way they've played. Thought they batted brilliantly. They bowled pretty well too at times. This England still. This is an outside chance here with David Willey at the crease. He can clear the ropes. We know he's got quality with the bat. So all England's hopes are on his shoulders right now.
Haris Rauf back into the attack. 0 for 39 off his 3 overs. The field for David Willey. Leg side heavy. Fine leg. Deep mid-wicket, long on. Deep backward gully almost. Right on the boundary edge and a cover point on the offside. Mid-off is up inside the circle. Here's Haris Rauf and it's a wide first delivery. Signalled so. Haris Rauf has got the teapot on. Doesn't like the call. It's a fair one from David Milnes, former Leicestershire and Nottinghamshire all-rounder. And so now it goes down to 36 from 12 balls.
I can see why he doesn't like that, because it's sort of cut through the wide line. So you can see he's trying to bowl the wide Yorker, and it's one of the, it could be given, sometimes it's not given, and I can understand the double teapot there, to be honest.
The bowler's point of view emerges on the 3rd floor of the Radcliffe Road end. We've got a perfect view. Haris Rauf has lost his run up again. Crowd don't like it. They think it's something a little bit more underhand and sinister, but it's not. He's lost his run up.
Yeah, he's done it a few times today. He's just lost his run up and had to pull out.
He's got every right to do that as well if he wants to. Here's Rauf. Away from us, and Willey gets some bat on it. Brilliant shot. He went to go for the ramp over the leg side, changed his mind when he saw the line of the ball, changed the angle of the bat. It skims off down to 3rd man for 4. England's 200 is up. It's still not over in David Willey's mind. 32 required from 11 deliveries.
Just seeing the replay, he might have actually meant to go that way anyway, because 3rd man is in the circle.
Oh, you're right.
As soon as he gets into the ramp position, his bat is angled to go down that side of the ground, so he's actually meant to go that way. It's a brilliant shot.
Yeah. 201 for 8, 32 from 11. The equation for England. Boundary off the first ball. Willey is ready. Pakistan are not. There's a lot of arm wavering and gesturing. No one knows where they need to be. Should I be up inside the circle? 3rd man does come up. Long off and long on are back. Haris Rauf kicks his heels, runs away from us. A slower delivery, which is full. And it just gets guided to Imad Wasim at backward point, and there is no run. 32 from 10 now.
Yeah, just a bit of confusion there. I think the guy inside the circle at 3rd man thought he'll take it upon himself. The ball's gone down there, so I'll go on the boundary. And then it left 3 men in the circle, and obviously you need 4. So he had to make the journey back up.
I was just using my initiative, boss. That's what I was doing. Field remains the same. 32 from 10. Haris Rauf runs away, and a slower delivery. A big slog sweep attempted by David Willey. Got in position earlier. Don't know whether Haris Rauf saw that and changed his mind and bowled a slower ball, but it's a useful one for Pakistan as it didn't connect. They've not taken the run. It's 32 from 9.
Yeah, well bowled that was. It was an off-cutter, slower ball. Rolled his fingers down the right-hand side of the ball. David Willey was already in position to slog sweep, but was beaten for lack of pace. Threw the shot before it got to him.
It's a lot to ask. He's 16 not out from 10 deliveries. England 201 for 8, and Rauf bowls, and that's been hit across the line and all the way for 6. Has it, or has Shaheen taken it? Yes, he has! The end of England as Sharjeel Khan runs 20 yards to his left-hand side and pockets the catch in front of his face. Willey tried to manoeuvre the ball over the boundary, just didn't have enough on it, and Shaheen had the time to run round and take the catch. Reverse hands. The 9th England wicket falls. Willey has gone, and with it England's chances, even though they were slim, they are now gone, and Pakistan will win this first T20 international. 2:01 for 9. Matt Parkinson and Saqib Mahmood, the Lancashire pairing, who will be at the crease. David Willey did all that he could do.
He did. He didn't quite connect with that, but he managed to muscle it. It was going for 6. And Shadab's been absolutely brilliant in the field today for Pakistan. Made some crucial stops on the boundary, and that was I'm not saying it wasn't the toughest catch in the world, but it wasn't simple by any stretch. It was going to go for 6 if he hadn't got round to it. Took a good catch above his head.
A lot of things can go through your mind while the ball is in the air, can't it? Well, Pakistan have been well worth their victory as well. I think a couple of balls. Mohammad Hasnain, that over from Sharjeel Khan. This one from Haris Rauf has been a good one, as Mahmood hasn't faced a delivery, takes a big swing and a miss to a slower delivery from Haris Rauf, and it hops through to the wicket-keeper, Mohammad Rizwan, and there is no run. So 32 to win from 7 deliveries. Andy Saltzman has just come in with a stat. This is Pakistan's 171st T20. Livingston's century was the first ton scored against them. Wow. Another little milestone for Liam Livingstone. How dearly he would have loved it in an England victory, though, as Rauf bowls a Yorker, a brilliant one. It goes through the attempted swing of Saqib Mahmood, and even though he's working hard on his batting, that's a perfect delivery, and even a top player would have struggled to have got bat on that. So the end of the over, 32 to win from 6 deliveries. England 2:01 for 9, and we can just breathe a little bit slower and know that the conclusion is that Pakistan will take home the victories. People starting to make their way up the stairs and out towards the exits here at Trent Bridge, the England fans anyway. Pakistan flags are waving merrily in the Fox Road stand, in the William Clark stand to our right-hand side. They've had a great night. Everyone, I think, has had a good night. They've been royally entertained. Shaheen Shah Afridi, it will be to bowl the final over from the pavilion, and people are moving behind the bowler's arm. Matt Parkinson doesn't care. Here's Shaheen Shah Afridi, and an attempted swing and a miss by, well, may have just got a bit of toe on it from Matt Parkinson. The ball was killed stone dead, and Shaheen Shah Afridi picks up in his follow through.
That's the difference between batters and bowlers. Out in the middle we saw Liam Livingstone holding up play, waiting for someone to move who was sat still on the steps. So he didn't want them sat there, and half the stand's empty, and while the bowlers run into Matt Parkinson, he didn't care. That's fine, do what you want, crack on.
Parkinson's slightly open stance, tentatively nudges his back to the turf as he waits for Afridi, and he bowls him. Full delivery. The Zing Bales lights up. Shaheen Shah Afridi with the classic Shaheen Afridi celebration. Legs wide apart, arms that stretched out to the sky. Pakistan fans erupt around Nottingham. Flags are unfurled and waved in favour of Pakistan winning this first T20 international. They've bowled England out for 201, and they take the lead in this 3-match series 1-0 at Trent Bridge. It's been a scintillating night of aggressive stroke play, of power hitting and skillful batting, but overall Pakistan have won it by clever bowling, smart field changes and bowling changes from captain Babar Azam, and in the end too much for England to do.
Yeah, it's been an amazing game of cricket, though. The standard is, as you'd expect from 2 world-class teams, scoring big runs on a good pitch here at Trent Bridge. But yeah, Pakistan just choosing the right deliveries towards the end of their innings at the right times, making England make those mistakes. Obviously, with a big total on the board, you've got to keep going for your big shots to try and clear the ropes and get up to that total. And yeah, solid fielding from Pakistan, some good catching, and as you say, some really executed their skills well at the end.
I thought they were really good in the field. Actually, Pakistan, it was noticeable how much they'd improved from the 3rd one-day international.
Yeah, they were excellent. I thought, led by Sharjeel Khan, I thought he was brilliant on with his boundary riding. We saw a direct hit for a run out towards the end as well, and just a solid performance from everyone. And you could even you go back to their batting as well, just a really good performance led by Babar Azam, world-class player that he is. Great opening partnership between him and Rizwan for 150. And then everyone else who came in, they had that confidence. I think there was I don't know whether it's just that they feel more comfortable in this in this sort of format rather than 50 over cricket. They didn't look as comfortable, but here they know exactly what their role is in the team. The guys that came in lower down the order, hitting sixes from ball one, and really putting pressure on the England bowlers. And I think Eoin Morgan will be slightly disappointed with the England bowlers towards the end. They didn't execute their skills well enough for me. There were too many balls either side of Yorker length, full toss, half volley, which got dispatched from some quality batsmen.
Just finally from you, the power play for England, we saw them lose numerous wickets in the power play. Pakistan didn't lose any. Now, we know how England go about their business in white ball cricket, but was it a little bit too aggressive at times? Or was the judgment slightly off?
Yeah, you could say that now, but when you're chasing 230,
good point.
You feel like you've got to go for it the whole time. I think there is a stat: if you lose 3 wickets in the power play, that your chances of winning the game fall dramatically. So I think England would have, that would have it hurt them losing those 3 wickets. And that, like you say, Pakistan sort of weighted their innings to the back end. So they played cautiously at the start, got themselves in, built that partnership, got some momentum going, and then just sort of they could release. Then they had wickets in hand at the end where the batsmen coming in could just go hell for leather from ball one. England obviously they needed to keep going and going and going. They were always going to give the odd chance because of the size of the total they were chasing. Unfortunately, it was just a stretch too far.
Lovely to have you company as ever. James Anderson will have it in the next couple of T20 internationals. Great stuff. Thank you for your contribution as ever here on Test Match Special on 5 Live Sports Extra, and you can catch him on the highlights tonight 11:05 on the BBC. Just a couple of notes as well about Dawid Malan, the 7th fastest T20 international, not Dawid Malan, Liam Livingstone, the 7th fastest T20 international 100. He hit 9 sixes, the most by an England player in any international T20 innings. And it's just a reminder, the fastest T20 international 100 by an England player. He beat Dawid Malan's effort in Napier by 6 balls. That shows you the kind of rate that he was hitting at. Amazing striking, but we've seen that throughout the course of the night. We've seen 433 runs. We've seen 16 wickets, all in the space of around about 3.5 hours. It's been breathless stuff. Let me just quickly run through the England card before we just take a more considered view of the evening's entertainment. For England, Dawid Malan, caught and bowled by Shaheen Afridi for 1 of 6 deliveries. Jason Roy clattered 32 from 13 balls, including 2 fours and 3 sixes. Strike rate of almost 250 before being caught by Azam Khan off the bowling of Shadab. Jonny Bairstow was caught Imad Wasim off the bowling of Shaheen Afridi for 11 off 7. Moeen Ali caught Rauf, bowled Mohammad Hasnain for 1. Liam Livingstone, 103 from 43 deliveries, 6 fours and 9 sixes. Caught Afridi, bowled Shadab Khan. Eoin Morgan was caught by Rauf off the bowling of Imad Wasim for 16. Lewis Gregory made 10 from 11. David Willey 16 from 11, and too much for Tom Curran and the lower order to do at that stage. 1 from 2 was Tom Curran. Saqib Mahmood not out. Matt Parkinson was bowled by Shaheen Afridi for a duck. There were 9 wides, 1 leg by, 201 all out. The bowling figures, just the 5 used by Pakistan. Imad Wasim 1 for 46 off 4. Mohammad Hasnain, the pick of the bowlers for me. I thought he was fabulous tonight. 1 for 28 off 4. Shaheen Afridi 3.2 overs, 3 for 30. Rauf 1 for 44 off 4, and Shadab Khan 3 for 52 off 4 overs. So that is how it transpired, with Pakistan 232 for 6 in their 20 overs. Rizwan with 63, Babar Azam with 85, and two really important cameos from Fakhar Zaman with 26 from 8, Mohammad Hafeez 24 from 10 towards the back end. Well, Trent Bridge is starting to empty, save a cluster of supporters down in the Smith Cooper stand near the scoreboard who are hoping for a little glimpse of one of their heroes, maybe a distant selfie or something like that. They'll do well in these COVID times, but they can hope and at least make their pleasure known that Pakistan have taken a 1-0 lead in the series. Atif Nawaz is back alongside me, and we've had some cricket tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, well, it was very, very eventful stuff. I mean, there were so many stats coming out of this game, I couldn't quite absorb them all, but the one that stood out to me the most was Liam Livingstone. I mean, just to join the heap of praises he's going to get, one of the other accolades he can count on now is that he's become the first batter to score a century in international T20 cricket against Pakistan. It's extraordinary when you think about how much T20 cricket Pakistan play, more than any other country in the world, yet they've never conceded 100 from a batter before up until today. And Liam Livingstone, I think England, I'll be very honest,